Welcome, my friends, to XboxEra. If you're new here, let me fill you in. XboxEra is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, XboxEra.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best of XboxEra. Our incredible podcasts listened to in over 50 countries worldwide, our in-depth reviews, our own merch store for the coolest in gaming threads, and of course Day One, where you can track, rate and discuss your favourite games on Xbox Game Pass. We're a small, agile and independent publication, and importantly, we're completely funded by you. If you value having a publication truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Despite the fact that the team running XboxEra haven't been to journalism school, we're still lucky enough to be supported by some incredible people. While we adore all of our patrons, we have to give a very special shout out to our executive producers who go above and beyond for this team, allowing us to achieve so much more than we could without them. Peter B, Top, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Landau, Frankie C, Devin H, Britt, Assassin Entertainment, and our grand benefactors, Torn Raptor and Krafton. You guys are fucking awesome, and we love you. If you want to become legend like this lot, head to patreon.com/XboxEra. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 229 of the Xbox Era podcast. We're here to talk about all of the latest in gaming from across the industry, but overall, we're focused on your favorite platform, Xbox. If you love what we do, you can support us directly by heading to patreon.com/XboxEra, or if you're Torn Raptor and it's your birthday, happy birthday, Torn Raptor. Drop 50 memberships and become a YouTube member right here. Like you crazy man. Oh, God love him. As always, keep your eyes peeled on XboxEra.com for all the latest and greatest in Xbox news. Before I introduce my esteemed colleagues, we have to call out our grand benefactors, not only the wonderful Torn Raptor, the amazing Krafton, but the forgotten, because I didn't do the executive producer update, Assassin Entertainment is also now a grand benefactor. We're working on the Patreon CEO title. Xbox Era CEO, I think that's what the next level up above grand benefactor is going to have to be. Or chief financial officer, something like that. Makes sense. As always, I'm joined by Special Nick. What's going on? Hi, man. And Jesse's here as well. Hi,
hello.
Jess. Hello. I'm not great. I'm going to apologize to everyone in advance. I cooked too much fresh pasta, like the proper made of egg fresh pasta. And I ate what should have been for two people. And it has now expanded into my stomach, and I feel ill. It is all my own fault. I am full of regret, but I am here. I just maybe...
Could have taken the day off.
Nah, maybe I just
I don't actually have a thing set up for two people. I got to do that. Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Okay.
You know, it's my own fault. If I was ill, but this is all a mess of my own making. So, yeah. But yeah, hey, it's another week. We're all here once again. And before we dive into this week's news and topics, there is a lot. It's probably a good idea to talk about some of those wonderful video games that we've been playing. Nick, you did a review this week. What have you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot this week, actually. I've been playing, as you guys saw from my review, I've been playing the Karate Kid Street Rumble.
You loved it.
I was quite excited to play because I love my scrolling beat 'em ups. And I love the Karate Kid as a kid. So I was quite excited to play the Karate Kid Street Rumble, and unfortunately was somewhat left somewhat disappointed by how the actual game played. And I was a bit concerned about my review score. I don't particularly like giving so review scores.
Despite wanting us to be tougher on games yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to say low because 5.5 is in that okay range. It's okay.
Is it more getting really critical and basically, hey, someone's worked on this for 3 years and it's the reality that you've got to kind of now tear their work apart?
Yeah.
It's never fun.
Again, I know. My thing is, I feel like even when I don't enjoy a game, I try my best to focus. Like, I spent a lot of the review talking about what was done really well. And the problem is, when you're talking about a scrolling beat 'em up, the core gameplay and how the game feels is literally the most important part of the whole game. Like, if that part doesn't feel good, doesn't matter how good the graphics are, doesn't matter how great the fan service is or how faithful to the universe they were. None of that matters if the game doesn't play well. But then I saw a lot of other reviews were in that similar range. So I'm like, okay, so it wasn't me being harsh. It wasn't me imagining things. Like, there was only, mind you, amongst all those low review scores, I literally only saw one talk about how the game didn't feel good to play. And I'm like, why did the rest of you give it such low scores? Like, the dude that gave it a 4 out of 10 said what I said. Didn't feel good, hit detection was off, this, that, the other. But everyone else was like, oh, it doesn't have online mode. Okay, big deal. Like, that's not something worth giving it a 5 out of 10 for. Then others were like, the story wasn't great. Who gives a shit? It's
I hate
beat 'em up. Who cares?
I hate seeing criticism for games that don't have a mode that another game might, because then it's like, well, okay, are we penalising The Last of Us for not having a multiplayer?
Like, for not having online?
You can't, you mark the game for what it is, not for what it isn't.
Yes. And that's what I mean. I talked about how the graphics are really nice and how it does a brilliant job translating the universe of the Karate Kid into just a 2D scrolling beat 'em up. It does a very admirable job of that. But like the gameplay itself is not good. Like I said it in the review, and I said it to Jesse the whole time I was reviewing it. I kept DMing him. I'm like, I think my controller is broken. I'm like, I think my Elite might be dying. So I reinstalled Streets of Rage 4. I went and played TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I'm like, maybe it's the controller. I want to give this game the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's the controller. Went and played Streets of Rage 4, and that shit still feels perfect as fuck. Went and played TMNT, still feels amazing. I'm like, okay, so my controller's not broken. It's just this game. It just doesn't control well, and it was a real shame. Like you see on the video now, really fun little mini games like catching the fly with your chopsticks, or like from the movie, and doing your crane kick. And I think the NES original had stuff like that too. But it was a real chore to play through because it's quite long for a scrolling beat 'em up. It's got a lot of levels to it, and a lot of the levels are very long. But when the game's fun, it doesn't matter. But when the game's not fun, oh boy, it's a real chore. So it's unfortunate.
You've gone through this right after I went through the exact same thing with Anotria. Really pretty, great music. This one actually had an intriguing story and all that type of stuff, but it just missed the key thing for a Souls-like, which is the combat. And how does it feel when you're 1v1ing or going against a group? Like, how does that feel? And it does not feel good. And it just drags everything else down. I got yelled at it a lot in the reviews saying, no, this is actually great, from people. It wasn't out yet. I don't know how they knew. But then the Open Critic is a 7, and I gave it a 6.8. And for this one, you gave it a 5.5, and the Open Critic's a 5.3. It's like, people will always look at it in a way of, if you say what I want to hear, you're being honest. And if you don't say what I want to hear, then you're lying. And that drives me crazy.
Dunkey did a video on the whole reviews thingy, where his comments in YouTube review, and it's hilarious because it's exactly how people seem to react to reviews. They don't listen to the content; they just really look at the score a lot of the time. But hey, it sounds like another game really that we've all been playing today that kind of, looks great. Say today, this week, it looks great. It sounds great. It should be great. And it's the Plucky Squire. Similar scenario, Plucky Squire.
Right? Similar scenario. Sort of. Where I disagree with you, so the Plucky Squire is one of those. Again, we were saying before we went live, because it's funny, we've been seeing a lot of similar sentiment on the Plucky Squire from others in the industry. Jeff Grubb, even Jason Schreier was a bit on it.
Mr. Badbit.
Yep. The Plucky Squire is for me, I put it in the same group as Metal Gear Solid 4 and The Order 1886, whereby the game itself is fine. It's fine. I'm not calling it amazing or anything like that. The actual gameplay in the Plucky Squire, I think, is perfectly fine. The game just never lets you play. It won't let you play. It just does not let you play.
It's the biggest criticism I had. I sat down for the review period, and kudos to Devolver and the team at All Possible Futures. I had that on hand for nearly 2 weeks, Jess, I think. And I was like, okay, cutesy platformer, looks great. And look, let's all agree.
Presentation.
The concept, even just when we first saw that trailer, that concept of coming out of the book and that transition,
unbelievable.
This looks incredible. But then, and this is what I found frustrating. If you haven't watched the review, go give it a read. But you're absolutely right. 10 out of 10 in presentation. I'd say 10 out of 10 in audio and themes and writing. It's
unbelievable.
All lovely with so much care and attention. But the cardinal sin is, and I know you and I disagree, the gameplay is fine, but it's also completely unexciting. It's not challenging. And the worst thing that I found for the Plucky Squire, outside of the constant, hey, we're going to stop you for a minute and make you watch this slow thing that you can't ever skip, even if you've already seen it, and you have to hammer A through all the conversation, because I can read faster than you can print it in the bubble, all right? Is that they introduced these wonderful ideas, incredible gameplay ideas. And I'm like, whoa, what are they going to do with this? And then they might use it like once or twice. But even worse than that is they'll show you exactly how to solve the new mechanic. Like straight away, here's the solution. And it's like, what are you doing? I wanted to figure this out. I wanted to experiment. Even the banner thing of throwing words into places. Like, it's never not obvious what word you need. It's never not obvious how to get there. There's no, like, you could have fun and genuine experimentation with it. They chuck in a few, like, red herrings, but it's always, it's just so shallow.
But look, I can totally see why Sony picked this for PlayStation Plus. Like, this has PlayStation game written all over it, which is all style, no substance. Like, that is if you go throughout PlayStation's history, it's all about the graphics. It's all about the animations. It's all about the presentation. It's got to look amazing. Look at Concord. There was so much focus on how Concord looked and how it animated. And oh my God, look at these cutscenes. Let's throw the cutscenes at these people that are playing a hero shooter, because that's what they all want. They all want cutscenes.
Hey, man, it was the future of PlayStation.
PlayStation is all about presentation. It's got to look impeccable. So I can totally see why Plucky Squire is on PlayStation Plus. And the presentation on this game is impeccable. It might be the most well-presented game I've ever seen. Like, just everything... I use this term a lot, even though it doesn't apply to video games, but I like the term anyway. It's like it's handcrafted. It's been so beautifully put together. My assumption is that this game was never about the challenge or the gameplay. It's not meant to be about it. It's probably meant to just be like a proof, almost like a proof of concept for what they're going to do next.
I was going to say I have a different take. I don't. I agree with the take from our esteemed colleague and friend, Mr. Kayasante, because he had a review coverage, and he reached out to me. He's like, how are you getting on with it? He also had an amusing bug, but I won't go into that. But he put it best, I think. He said something, and I'm paraphrasing here. He said that it's a great way to make my kids revisit the past without playing the past. So, and I've used it for a different method as well. But like, I think he's basically saying, instead of sitting my kid down to play Mario from the SNES or whatever, and this looks crap, oh no, look, it's modern, but it's an homage to Zelda games and Mario games and all these different things that we played as a kid. And I love
Punch
that.
Out. Love that Punch Out moment.
There's loads of wonderful references, but they're so shallow. But anyway, the other way I've been using the Plucky Squire, and I've loved this. My kids, I don't know what it's like for anyone that's got kids in primary school, but they have a reading record where they have to mark down what they read. And my daughter loves playing games, but hasn't got quite the hang of it. So I turned on all the assists for her. So if you're not aware, if you've got kids, this is worth knowing. Plucky Squire, invincibility, one-hit kill.
Yes.
Nick would have turned all these on anyway, right? By default.
I have.
Come on, it's not even hard.
I did turn them on.
My 7-year-old is now enjoying that. But what I'm doing is I'm making her read all the comic book stuff. And because it's a storybook and it's a kid's cartoon friendly, she's learning and playing and learning to read and improving her reading skills and all of this. And it's actually really, really nice. And I met with a parents' evening at the school like earlier this week, and I was like, hey, yeah, so if you see the Plucky Squire in a reading record, it's not a book, but it kind of is. So hopefully that one will
digital book.
Yeah, right. It's just like reading on a
This is what I'm saying. Maybe it wasn't meant to be a tough, challenging old school game. Maybe it was never meant to be. Because I don't get the impression that's... I'm only 3 chapters in, because I'm playing other things as well. But I don't get the impression that they're trying to make a super challenging old school video game.
And I didn't want it to be challenging. I just wanted there to be more depth with the mechanics and the puzzles that they present.
For me,
the
it was just...
was there.
No, I'm fine with the difficulty. I'm fine with all those things. For me, It is purely about, let me fucking play the game, bro. Stop stopping me every 5 seconds and just let me play the bloody game. It just it's incessant with how often it stops you. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, Plucky Squire. So I'm seeing that sentiment a lot, which I like. I'm glad that I'm seeing people not just froth over it.
Yeah, well, I've seen a few people frothing over it and giving it a 10, and I'm like, look,
that's a presentation score. That's
opinions
a presentation
are like
score.
arseholes. Everybody's got one, but like, it's not a game of the, it's not a masterpiece. It's an incredibly imaginative effort, and it's a wonderful. It's the first game from that team, and I give them all the props in the world, and I made sure to say so. But it would have been nice if they just spent a little bit longer fleshing out those ideas into full concepts that could be expanded upon through gameplay. That's the shame for me. But in an effort to keep things swiftly moving, to give Jesse a chance to speak, because we've been hogging the thingy, and well, give both of you, because I haven't played it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jesse and I have both been playing the same thing.
Prince of Persia's new DLC pack, right? And I think Jesse, you put the review out, right?
Yeah, so I did a text-only review because we actually had two. It came out embargo on Tuesday. We already had 3 other videos. Could have had 4. It's been real busy time. So I played through this. I played through it in about 3 hours. I did most of the content. I think most people would 100% it in no more than 5 hours, but it's only $5. It is not an expansion. It is a mission. So it is the...
Yes.
You were fighting the Immortals. This is the one Immortal you didn't end up facing in the main game. Lady with her mask. It's really, really good. But I love this man so much, I am going to pause and read both of Torn Raptor's super chats. Number 1, the Swans going to win it, Nick. Why are Victorians so salty about the 2 non-Victorian teams being in the grand final?
Yeah. So for only the 4th time in nearly 40 years, there's no Victorian team in the AFL Grand Final. It doesn't happen very often. And I guess some Victorians are salty about it. I don't know. I don't give a rat's ass. I was glad that Geelong didn't make it. But
yeah, the shouting
for me, it's more selfishness. Like, if Collingwood's not there, then the team I'd prefer to win it is the team that's the furthest away from Collingwood's premiership tally. That is Brisbane and Sydney, and they're the 2 that made it, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah. To go back to Prince of Persia real quick, it's solid. I think I gave it a 7.5. It's not perfect. It's got some really smart ideas mixed with some very annoying ones. You're going to run into it, Nick, when you've got that stupid eye chasing you, and you've got to...
I already had that. The eye.
No, you're going to have it again. And this time you have to fight people, and it's like 7 minutes long. And the eye is there the whole time. And if you get touched, you go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I know. You go back to the start.
Yeah, so there's like this eye. It follows you around. If it touches you, you get warped back to the beginning. But on the whole, you're getting to go against the one character from the main game who you didn't ever fight in the main campaign. So it is very nice to go through there. I know Nick is enjoying what he's played of it so far as well.
I'm loving it so far. Yeah, it's super good. But I love any excuse to go back to this game. This game is amazing.
It was weird going back to it after I hadn't played it since January, and I was on the review build. They gave me the password to get into that on Ubisoft Connect launcher. Funnily enough, the first hour it was impossible to play because Steam was opening and controlling my controller, and I didn't realize it. But my cloud save was just there. That's the best thing about new Ubisoft games. Good. I immediately hopped into my games over cloud save. The character to start the DLC was just right there, standing there, and went right into it. It was perfect.
It's so good. I was saying on Twitter, I don't know why Ubisoft gets so much shit.
Because their corporate culture is really bad, and they were very repetitive in mechanics going across all their games for a few years. So they've moved away from that for a while, but people won't drop it.
I don't know, man.
Come on, man. People still hate Microsoft from the 90s. You know,
any publisher, though, that gives us cross-platform saves, man, you're okay in my books. Like, I love it.
There's
so good.
Future, man.
One other thing I have been playing a lot of, which is also Ubisoft, and I've streamed 6 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, and then 5 hours. I've just been playing this shit out of the Division 2 because I hadn't played it for a while, and they have just added so much content to it since the last time I played. Just crazy because the game had been end of lifed, and then so many people bought it on sale and were loving it that they spun up a team, and that team is still putting out content. I just did a new season. They've got another expansion, I think, set in Brooklyn coming next year. They're hiring up and setting up for the Division 3. Like, it's amazing. As someone who's played 1,000+ hours of the first 2 games, I am very happy. And as Torn Raptor's second super chat says, Jesse, after watching your Division 2 streams, I bought it on sale. I wish I played this sooner. It is a fun shooter with so much content. And yes, it is. It plays incredibly well, thankfully, on Series X and PlayStation 5. It's been patched up to run great. If you've got any type of PC, runs great. Has the issue, though, no cross-play or cross-progression, because it was before Ubisoft had started doing that. So I'm still on my Series X and loving every moment I've been playing with that one. Probably going to start streaming Star Wars Outlaws, because I want to play that game in a more relaxed mode and not a I have 2 days mode. Though I won't be able to stream that much because the deluge of reviews is starting.
It begins.
The main thing to get through this quickly that I have been unable to talk about, even though everyone knew, we all saw it, Dragon Age The Veilguard. I did a preview event for that in San Francisco with a whole bunch of other people. And like immediately there were just a bunch of, the moment you said I got flown to San Francisco, I stopped watching. I'm like, it was
how can we trust your opinion?
Yeah, it's like I flew out Wednesday night. The plane was delayed 3 hours. I got in at 11:30 p.m. San Francisco time, which was like 2:30 p.m. my time. So I was dead tired. Checked into the hotel, immediately went to sleep, woke up, had an okay breakfast, immediately just went to this event all day, went back to the hotel and went to sleep because I had to get up at 6 for the flight. Like, it wasn't some luxury vacation they took us on. Also, it is BioWare. They have always been a forward-thinking developer. There are things that you can role-play that are driving people insane, and they're like, it's going to bomb now. I'm here to tell you that no, I do not think it will, because in the 6 hours all of us got to play, 6 or 7-ish, unbelievably fun. Super competent, varied third-person action combat game mixed with the best of BioWare's RPG stuff. Like, your choices matter. The characters are really cool. The writing is really good. It feels like people talking to each other and like earning relationships instead of it just being a Marvel quip fest where everyone's just doing their Aaron Sorkin style one-liners against each other nonstop. I really like the setting.
What's the deal with the hair?
The hair in this game is the best looking hair I've ever seen.
Look
It
at
is
the hair.
great. So when I was talking, I got to interview a couple of the guys, one who does the quests and one who's in charge of like the graphics and art and stuff. They had a incredibly talented and dedicated art team who really focused on making all the hair look good and not just like the classic hair that we're used to, but like people of various looks and shapes and sizes and colors having realistic, incredible looking hair.
The hair
Yeah,
looks
but why
real.
is it so woke?
I know.
No,
That's
I'm
been the
joking.
thing. Well, you can't make quadruple D boobs or giant enormous butts or stuff. Like, they're still
that's a
very
shame.
big, but they're not anime proportions. But yeah, no, it's one of the better looking things I've ever seen. It's like the Frostbite engine at its friggin' zenith. I've never seen a
Frostbite?
Yep.
No.
Never seen a
Wow.
Frostbite
is
game
it
look
really?
this good. But yeah, no, the hair is insane. Like,
Yeah, the hair looks real.
The animations as well, like if you actually watch the way the physicality of the actual separate limbs and the way the cloak moves around when the character's kind of twirling, it looks really freaking good. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, man. When I see character creation tools that are super deep, I just get exhausted looking at it.
They've got really good presets. That's what I ended up going with. I went with a preset and I tweaked it. They are looking to potentially put out a character creator beforehand so you can have your character ready. Because, yeah, there were people who, like, the first hour, they were still in character creator. They never touched anything else. And then they're like, oh, shit, I'm not going to have enough time to get through all this content. So, yeah, no, I got to play it for 6 to 7 hours. It is a full RPG. Like, choices matter. You've got full skill trees. It's a really big skill tree. You can change it whenever you want because they wanted to push that I want to experiment and try the different types, because there's only 3 classes, but in those 3 classes of warrior, rogue, and mage, you've got very different warrior types. You've got the sword and board, you've got the big sledgehammery types, you've got different moves they can do, you've got archer or dagger rogues, but then even there, very different move sets. You've got healing mages or ice mages or frost mages, fire, like... So there's very large skill trees. The game looks insane. If you're into Dragon Age at all, it feels like the Dream one, where they had their time and they had a solid vision on what they wanted, and then EA gave them the time, because that didn't happen with Inquisition. Inquisition got pushed out the door with a lot cut. Andromeda got pushed out the door with a lot cut. Anthem got pushed out the door with a lot cut. And they're like, this game's been fully playable for a year and a half. From start to finish, we've had it all done. We have just been tightening things up and changing things here and there, and really falling in love with the way we've ended up being able to build it because we had time.
Looks like it'll be a good game for people who like that genre.
And even then, it is a really competent third-person action game. Like, it's not a turn-based, it's not a real-time, but you're just choosing moves and watching animations. You are dodging. If you've got you're parrying if you've got the shield. Like, you are playing a really good third-person action game. And if you get bored playing it one style, you can change up your abilities for that class on the fly. There's a lot of gear that matters. The gear for your companions matter. And they had originally called this game Dreadwolf because it was about Solas, whose name is the Dreadwolf. But then they realized that the companions and you, the group you make, the Veilguard, are like the focus, and so that's why the
heart of the game.
Name changed. Yeah, because it's got its typical romance stuff. You can romance people, but they can also romance each other, which was new for this. Like, depending on your choices that are made, how things go, one of that character might fall in love with or try to get with that character. They might get rejected this time, or if you had made a different choice and the world was different, maybe they got accepted. So super deep, impactful RPG stuff mixed with really fun combat and a good reason to explore. It is not open world. It is mission and like open area based, but you're doing a mission in that area. But you can go off and search and find a bunch of stuff, and there are things to locate that you can then bring back to your little hub area here called the clock. Jesus Christ. Is it the clock tower? I forget. It's been a while. It might be Watchtower. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, if you whether you're into Dragon Age a ton or not, I think this game's going to appeal to a lot of people. Maybe not Mort, because it is very colorfully purple, but this is a more magical area of Thedas, which is the country of the Dragon Age series. So it is more bright and more colorful, because the other areas were all anti-magic. But yeah, no, I got to play it for a while, and all I've wanted to do since that preview is play it more.
Yeah, genuinely looks great.
It's got the, like you can see in here, you guys will see it in 20 seconds. It's got the combo system from Anthem. So it's like a big part of, you get 2 people with you at all times. You want to have people that will combo off each other. Like, I will prime this debuff and you can explode this debuff type of stuff, where your character can do both of theirs. It's nice, and it's just deep enough to constantly be something you want to work on, but it's not overwhelming. And I think that was a nice change, because I found even Baldur's Gate 3 a little overwhelming. It's like you have to study and learn. It's a big part of D&D. And in this, it gently introduces you to enough stuff where you're not bored, but your brain's also not exploding.
Even I'm sad, especially the fact that it's linear. I'm like, oh, okay, now my interest is a little bit more, because like I haven't played a good BioWare game in a long while. So
they had nearly good, because like Mass Effect Andromeda had awesome combat, but then failed on a lot of other stuff with the story. And then Anthem had awesome combat and then failed on a lot of stuff with the story. But this one, awesome combat, but they've gone back to focusing mainly on what they know and can do really well, which is their characters, their writing, their settings, and not trying to push every envelope at the same time.
Fair. It does look great. It does look great. In terms of anything else, I've still been playing more Towerborne, because I genuinely really like that game. It's a play a couple of times a week, clear a few new areas, take on a new boss with your pals. Still would recommend it. I hope it comes to game preview sooner rather than later.
Mhm.
And I've been playing something else for things, but I can't talk about it yet. So that's the end of that one. Thrilling information. Here's the thing.
We have a lot of game coverage coming up, like a lot, like so much I can't even remember. EA Sports, crazy. Hockey and Football Club and Shadows of Doubt. You want to be doing that. Extermination, the Starship Troopers one.
Starship Troopers, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be doing Vessel of Hatred, hopefully Shattered Space. We'll see. There's so much. Unknown 9 Awakening we should be getting. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to keep up with.
I'll probably be doing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reader's Rewind.
Hey, there you go.
I feel like more.
Take it.
Super chat.
Take it.
Super chat. Cody Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cody Bishop. With how much you guys game, have you ever experienced tendonitis or issues with your hands? The PS5 controller flares up my wrist thumb pain. Yeah, I have a thing with my thumb, but I got it from the gym. No, I got it because I slept funny. I slept on my hand one night, and it was like this the whole night. So I woke up and my thumb was fucked, and it lasted about 6 months. Oof. It took for it to eventually go away. So then playing video games where I'm using my thumb a lot would just keep it there, and it wouldn't let it go. And now I've got the same thing with my left thumb. The right thumb's okay now, and now the left thumb is thing.
I'm pleased to say
on it funny.
No wrist pain or finger pain. I do think though that the way the PlayStation controllers have always been designed, like they hurt every single. I haven't played around with the DualSense like much, but every single one of them always used to make my hands hurt after a while, and I've never had that with an Xbox.
I still do with the DualSense. So. It's not as bad as the DualShock 4 was, but I still get cramps whenever I've used my kids. Yep. I have very big hands, so like this is my.
But the DualSense Edge is a very wide controller.
There's something about that shape and the way it's like that, like it still flares out more and holding it and going in for the. I don't know. I don't know why. I just know my hand hurts.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Down with symmetrical sticks. Boo.
But the symmetrical sticks were never the problem on PlayStation.
They were for me. Like I swear, at some points, like if you were doing something in like a third-person game, you could almost. It felt like you could almost get the sticks to touch each other in the middle. Like maybe going back to like PS2 days or something along those lines. I was like,
the DualShock 3 and earlier. Yes, the symmetrical sticks are a problem because the handles aren't long enough so that you can rest your thumbs up on those sticks. Your thumbs have to be down in a very unnatural position if you want to hold the controller properly in your palm. So it was very much an ergonomics problem. They solved that with the DualShock 4 because the handles are far, far longer. I feel like the DualSense is where they finally got it right. They've got that balance right. I think it's just a little bit wider than it needs to be, and it makes reaching all the stuff at the top a bit more difficult if you don't have very big hands.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could do a whole episode on fucking controller ergonomics.
We could do a whole episode on a lot of things. But hey, as Jesse kind of mentioned there, we do have a lot of content coming up over the next few months, really, right up until December, frankly. So, as always, you guys visiting XboxEra.com, reading our stuff, sharing our stuff, liking our stuff, watching our videos, all of that stuff is very helpful. And we appreciate you very much. In fact, hit the like button right now. Why don't you? Because, you're here. You may as well. Now, we've got the banner image for this episode of being about Flight Sim, but I would imagine that everyone probably wants to talk about all these other things first. There's that Daddy Longlegs. I'm going to miss
you know what we really need to talk about? If you John, you talked about the fact that you had all that leftover control. Since you're feeling so shit from that pasta, you should probably have some control to make you feel better. That ultra sweetness, I'm sure, will really fix your tummy up.
Nah, I don't need more food, bro.
You should Control will fix you right up. So you better go to www.drinkcontrol/XboxEra and order some more. Use our code to get 10% off. And I reckon a meal replacement drink while you're feeling full from pasta will very much make you feel
you reckon
better.
it'll just not just tip me over the edge?
Nah, no way. It'll fix you right up.
Oh dear, lol. Oh man. All right. Well, let's dive into some things then. So, a new one from Windows Central today to start off our chit chats about the gaming industry and everything else. Per Jez Corden, he's talking through an interview that was carried out with License Global magazine and head of consumer products, John Friend. Talking about Halo, talking about all the different franchises they have. And he's talking about... Oh, you've put the wrong link in. But okay, I got really confused there. There's a couple of things here. Sorry. Let me...
The way their site works sometimes, I probably scrolled down and it grabbed a different link. If you scroll down on Windows Central, it changes the link up top.
Oh, well, there you go. Xbox's plan for the future. That's what we're actually talking about. They're also talking about, they're going to do something for Halo's 25th anniversary, which is in 2026. But that feels like a long way away. And probably. When they talked about that and they had that article come out, I was like,
fix it.
Didn't Tom Warren hear of a Halo CE remake again?
Yeah.
That feels like something that could be timed for then. A nice, easy thing for 343 to just, here's a shiny, all bells and whistles, Halo CE as you remember it, blah, blah, blah. Maybe. I don't know.
I updated the
But
link.
surely that would be a more ground-up remake.
Yes, it would have to be. None of this laying graphics over the top.
I don't think they would ever. I don't think they'd ever continue those though, because then are you going to redo the single player, the multiplayer, and Forge as you keep going along? It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's already right there in the Master Chief Collection. Yeah, make new ones.
You're paying them. Get them to do something.
Make new games.
Yeah. But anyway, the thing that was mostly being discussed from Jez and Co was around Xbox's plans for the future. Now,
but we already know that.
It just doesn't ring as new to me, so I was surprised to see them
in writing report is why I think more people are going off with it than Guy Talks on podcast. Yeah,
I know, but this is kind of a thing that we've all kind of heard.
No.
Right? Yeah,
or heard about it, or no. The only information that I may end up being incorrect about, myself and Mag, is the whole that we had heard that the specs on the handheld and the home console might be the same. I'm not sure if that's going to still be the case anymore.
That really made sense.
Sorry, the specs on the handheld and the home would be the same.
Yes, I had originally heard that the specs would probably be the same on both.
So you're just going to...
It makes some. I can understand a world why they might want to do that.
It would just be two Series S's at that point.
It would be two of whatever it is.
Series S, you can't have more than that in a handheld.
You pay more for the handheld. You pay more for the privilege of being on the go. And the home console would probably be the cheaper option. That would be the thinking. But I think that information may have changed.
Or never been true.
Well, I think the bigger, outside of this, so basically everyone's going on this one line out of this. It was the correct link. It's just the reason is I was looking for an individual report. It's not. In that link, they talk about Xbox is full steam ahead with its next set of console hardware, which we tentatively believe, based on our sources, to include at least both a traditional style successor to the Xbox Series X and their foray into handheld gaming, right? That is also what is generally, and I want to use the word known or understood, right? No, we haven't got any
secret,
details,
if you will.
It's kind of like we understand that both of these things are accurate right now. Obviously, there's a long runway between now and 2026, which is the likely target for such things, but.
But also, I don't think these two don't have to be tied together. you could have, because if you have a handheld, it would be focused on Series S profiles of games. And if you have a new gen, that could come later because you're waiting on specific things in AMD's roadmap and different, architectures to be ready. So if you want an actual legitimate big upgrade, waiting an extra year or so for the console part of it would be a thing that could happen. Like, I don't think it would be as Series X and Series S, they're both coming out at the same time. They're the same generation. It's like the handheld would be essentially a handheld Series S. Maybe it can play Windows games, because that's also been rumored a bunch. And I don't think, and immediately people like on Resetera are jumping to, oh, it's just going to be a Windows device. And it's like, no, the entire point, the point. It is an Xbox that might be able to access Windows, but you will not be able to access Windows on it at all because it would get hacked immediately. And then all these things in consoles that have never been hacked on Xbox are just immediately open, and they're pissed, and their partners are pissed, and all your multiplayer games are hacked. Like, that's not what they want.
Yeah, this will be an operating system, an Xbox operating system, but with probably the ability, and maybe that's also the reason for the runway, is they're working with partners with app-based access to the store, so it gives Steam time to build an Xbox OS store that accesses their back end and yada yada yada. Like, we don't know, but that is just a reasonable supposition. But the thing I actually think that's more interesting to talk about is, this is a broad discussion, gentlemen, so I apologize in advance, the general state of the gaming industry and the way that games are made. These behemoths, these giant realistic looking things that cost millions of dollars, and then if they don't sell, that studio's buggered. I would love to see the industry itself push back and go towards these smaller, less about the visuals, more about the gameplay, quicker, iterative. I'd be happy with last gen's graphics. It doesn't need to be this. Don't need to keep going. So
thanks, Sony.
But that's the thing. If there is a general pushback from all the, I'm trying to think of a way to verbalize this without sounding like a mad person.
There's already people pushing back with, well, now that's just, the Series S didn't work out for them at all. It's held back games. It's like, no, it hasn't. Xbox One and PS4 still get most games, and everyone's going to be making Switch 2 games. If they make a handheld Series S, it will be more performant than a Switch 2, because a Switch 2 supposedly at its best might be an Xbox One PS4 type, at its best with all the new techniques and tricks and everything.
And this is what I mean. If you think about how broad and large and capable Microsoft's first party organization is now, if instead of, hey guys, 5-6 years development on these behemoths, no. Let's almost act like we're back in the 360 gen. Let's focus. Let's do a Nintendo, right? Let's just make really cool games. They can still have one or two of those big boys, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Matt Booty kind of alludes to that with that whole quote about the pillars. But if we could get back to that, and they could start churning stuff out like that, that's unique and different and fun, that's the kind of era of gaming I would want to go back to a little bit.
We heard a little bit too. ABK saying they wanted to have those smaller teams to iterate on the IP they own.
Yeah, we heard, Windows Central reported that apparently Microsoft internal teams beyond just ABK have started doing that. I mean, and look at some of the success stories that have come out from teams doing that. Grounded, incredibly successful, 12 people initially. If we could do more of that, I think that's going to be better for the industry as a whole.
What would really help? You know what would really help the industry turning back the clock in that way?
What?
If the media stopped fucking jizzing their pants over every fucking AAA slop thing that comes out.
Yes, that would be.
And maybe put great. More focus on that lesser stuff.
It is also a weird mix. Because they also love shitting on a lot of them when they don't really deserve it too. It's
Ubisoft's
this weird
ones.
Yeah. It is this thing where people focus so much on OpenCritic and Metacritic, and there are specific genres and specific publishers and developers that either they will never get a 90, they can barely touch an 80 no matter how good their game is. It doesn't matter. Ubisoft had one exception finally with Prince of Persia Lost Crown, which is in the high 80s. Even then, that game with how good it should be, or how good it is. If it was a different publisher making that game, it would be in the 90s. Like, it would be. And it's one of those things, it's hard to get through to people. It's not like a media bias. It's just a media expectation and how high they can see certain developers.
If Prince of Persia was made by Nintendo or PlayStation and you rebranded it with one of their IPs, it'd be sitting in the mid-90s.
Persia bot.
The Lost Crown. It would be sitting in the 90s, the Prince of Persia, because that game is fucking incredible. It's just unbelievable. Good old Collingwood. John, could a AAA game be made in that way? In what way?
Yes, in that we have to change the definition of what AAA is. AAA is a definition on budget, right? Can you make a really fucking awesome game that way? Yeah. What does the budget have to do with it? You know? Look at what some devs are capable of producing with Unreal 5 now. Yeah. Like, do you count Ori and the Will of the Wisps as a AAA game? I don't, and yet it is. It's an incredible game. Like, and I guess that's the whole thing that we want to...
Even Astrobot is only 60 people. I don't think most people would call that a AAA game. I don't think you'd call Hellblade a AAA game. But they reach those levels in different ways where, as an experience, some people like us really loved Hellblade, and most people really love Astrobot. I've only seen like 1.7 for it. Everything else is an 8 or above. Like, so much gets put on this looks expensive. Therefore, it is the best. It's expensive and good is better than not expensive and great sometimes. Often.
So, yeah, I definitely think I don't know. I can't think of a better way of wording it, and I wish I could, but it's late and I'm tired and not feeling great. But I could see this as becoming the way for Microsoft to change the game for themselves, because if they're operating on their own platform and their own platform has these capabilities, and they're kind of just like, well, yeah, PlayStation are market leaders, whatever, they can go and pursue that graphical fidelity road if they want. But what about if we focused on just loads of really good games? I feel like that would probably be okay, you know? But then we have the rumor as well, didn't we, from earlier this week, that the PS6 is being looked as 2 SoCs, system on chips. So maybe Sony are thinking the same thing.
Maybe
they must look at their market share in Japan.
You're not allowed to talk about that on Resetera anymore. You get instantly banned if you bring up how they only sold 10,000 after averaging like 50 after the price went up. It is. So somebody brought up, made a thread on Resetera about Sony going from like 50,000 to 10,000 the week after they upped the price significantly. And they locked that thread and essentially made the rule that you can't talk negatively about it. If you talk about it, you can. What do you mean why? We know why.
What do you mean you can't talk negatively about?
You just can't talk about the fact that it started selling less consoles.
You can just say the numbers. That's about it. With the rules that they put in there.
They've got some weird rules.
Got a super chat.
The Scarecrow 121. For studios to take this step, they need risk mitigation to be able to target the smaller scope, high gameplay titles. For studios to take this step, they
need proper scope in general. They need to not overscope. Like you can even say Prince of Persia Lost Crown overscoped and had to be $50, which really hurt because that genre doesn't do great at 50. Even Metroid Dread didn't sell very well. Like,
I think it's.
God, that game's good.
I think Scarecrow that they've already got the risk mitigation, and the risk mitigation is arguably Game Pass, because smaller scope, high gameplay titles should be the bread and butter of your service. It has been, yeah, fair point. Like, and I do want to call this out as well.
I mean,
Game Pass didn't have any
outside of Tango and
didn't hurt that.
I'm not talking about those games. I'm talking about the smaller, quickfire, the
Hi-Fi
day one
Rush.
deals that they do.
Hi-Fi Rush wasn't enough to.
I'm not necessarily talking about first party. I'm talking about generally games. The smaller ones are the ones that kind of catch on. Like I saw when we were talking about Plucky Squire, someone brought up Tinykin, which was a Game Pass title. It was brilliant. My kids loved it. It's those things that keep that service interesting, not the AAA stuff for me.
And like they've said it, Booty has come out and said it as much as he could in that really awful friggin' financial podcast he did. Tango Gameworks was because of a loss of leadership and them not having anyone to help run that place in the area. Like when your workday starts at 7 p.m. for your parent corporation and everyone's off the clock and going to bed and you don't have leadership there. Like there were a lot of reasons why their last 2 big budget games were flops. Evil Within sold a ton. Evil Within 2 sold nothing. Ghostwire Tokyo sold very little. And then Hi-Fi Rush did fine, but Hi-Fi Rush was smaller, and then they weren't working on anything for a long time. Was that their fault? I have no idea. It literally could have just been why they had to remajigger so much of ZeniMax, because ZeniMax was in bad shape when they bought them. That's why they were looking to be bought. Like, if ZeniMax and ABK were firing on all cylinders, they're not looking to get bought. Or if they are, their price is 2 to 3 times as much. Like there's so many factors, and I don't think Game Pass is one of them in that scenario.
Yeah, and I have to call this out in the chat. Magnum, I don't think this handheld exists. It was just manifested by Xbox, who feel they lost the console war. I mean, no, I could say to you that you're very wrong.
It exists.
Yeah, but you're an Xbox.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You've been around here long enough.
For a long, long time.
Come on now, Magnum.
We've seen masks slipping a lot lately.
There you go. But yeah, look, it's cool, and it's nice to know that Microsoft are genuinely thinking about this stuff. I think it's hard to gauge the realities of modern game development, and we're only seeing, and bear this in mind, like we're only really seeing the fruits of the 2018 acquisition spree now-ish. We've only just seen Perfect Dark, Fables arriving next year. It's taken a while to get that train up and running, and plus
a lot of the other things that were out were just finishing up when they were bought and went everywhere. So, yeah,
it's fun. It's fun times.
But then, as much as it's over, even though it's not at all, if you look at statistics, like the COVID bubble and all that, tons of business, but it did really hurt game dev, and it caught up quite a bit last year. It's actually still been a tiny lull this year, I think. Like the actual cycle of everything and how it was going is still readjusting, especially now that a lot of shitty CEOs are trying to use their back to office lever to scare their employees, because they don't want people to feel too comfortable, even though they know quite often if it's actually necessary or not, and a lot of times it simply isn't. Like when you're hiring people up and you're like, yeah, we hired you up and we said you could be remote forever. Now we're pulling everyone in at least a day, and then it becomes at least 3 days, and then it's every friggin' day. Like, it's just one of those control levers that executives really like, and that type of stuff always has an effect, and lots of people getting fired. Like, it'll be a long time, I think, before it's ever feels like business as usual, if it ever does.
Yeah. But hey, Microsoft aren't the only ones preparing for their next generations already, outside of the rumors of PlayStation doing 2 SoCs and handhelds and all of this sort of stuff from Xbox. Alleged images of Nintendo's new Super Nintendo Switch have arrived and appeared online. Now, alleged, right? We don't know if they're real, but
I'm seeing both. I'm seeing claims of both. I'm seeing some say, "Oh no, it's confirmed fake," and then others are like, "No, it's real." At the moment, I personally am leaning towards real. Personally. Because a lot of people are like, oh, but it's just a Switch. It's like, yeah. Have you not been keeping an eye on how Nintendo has worked in the home console space for the last 40 years? Like, Nintendo has had a pattern from day one. First, they, I guess you could say, revolutionize. Then they improve incrementally. So we got the NES, which at the time saved the industry, quote unquote. Then the SNES was just the slightly more powerful NES. Then we got the N64, which was revolutionary, 3D and the quirky controller, blah, blah, blah. Then the GameCube was just better 3D with another quirky controller. Then we got the Wii. Oh my god, motion control. Holy fuck, my life has changed. Then we got the Wii U HD version and the screen for the controller. Then we got the Switch. Oh my god, it's a home console that's also a portable. Oh, this is amazing. So now we're due for the boring incremental change. So that's why I believe this is real. Because that's Nintendo's MO. That's how they work. I find it weird when people just like get surprised by shit that's been the norm for 40 years. I don't understand why people freak out about it. That's how Nintendo works. Like, I don't expect this Switch to sell anywhere near the first Switch. Because again, that's never how Nintendo's consoles have sold. Go back and have a look.
I had to remind you that the Super Nintendo, as good of a system as it was, sold a lot less than the regular Nintendo.
No, I knew that. I'm the one that said 100 times that each console sells less than the last one. I just didn't realize. I thought the number was higher than 49 million. That's all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was higher than 49 million for
I
the
think
SNES.
you
That seemed lower than I remember.
Yeah, you said the NES number for the SNES.
Yes, I thought the SNES was 60 million, but it actually wasn't. But yeah, so I personally expect that. I think that's real, just based on how Nintendo works.
Yeah, it's just going to be a bigger, faster, more powerful Switch that runs all the previous Switch stuff. Probably can take the same size cartridges. Or will they? Because this is also Nintendo and they're pricks.
And the carts have been a point of price contention. Like, everyone just does 16 because it's so much cheaper than 32 or 64, and so then you have to download everything anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, you could see it. It's got a bigger screen with a smaller bezel. Great. The Joy-Cons look less ergonomically horrid. Again, they still don't look
well.
They still don't look great, but they look less horrid. There appears to be an extra button. So
like on the top.
Got your screenshot button. No. That looks like the release for the Joy-Cons.
Oh, really? It's so big.
Yeah. The button I'm talking about is on the front. So there's the screenshot button and the home button, but there appears to be a third button that people are discussing and what it could be for. And there's a couple of other little changes here and there. There's 2 USB slots, one at the bottom, one at the top. USB-C ports, one at the bottom, one at the top. So people are like, I wonder what that's for. Someone on Twitter was like, maybe it's for a camera attachment. It's like, well, maybe. I had heard that they might be doing AR with this Switch.
Well, even it would also just give you more options to charge from the top if you want to not have the cable coming out the bottom.
That as well?
Yeah. Because that's what the Legion Go has. The Legion Go's got one on the bottom, one on the top, lets you dock and run like a USB-C hub. Like, it gives you way more options for things in the future without having to be docked.
Yeah. So I'm camp real on this stuff personally. Again, only because I know Nintendo's history, and that's how they work. They go boring with the second one, with the follow-up.
Third
they
button
go
is
plain and boring.
The patent button.
What a wonderful segue.
Yes.
Yeah, a wonderful segue to one of my least favorite stories in a very long time.
Yeah.
It's gone down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. So Nintendo are very jealous and upset about Palworld's success.
How dare you make Pokemon look good?
Allegedly.
Yeah. How dare you give people an idea of how a good Pokemon game could look?
Supposedly.
Yeah. And they've decided they're going to sue... What's their name?
Pocket Pair.
Pocket Pair.
But it's a patent lawsuit, not the other one that people assume. What is it?
Copyright infringement. This is a patent infringement.
This is a patent infringement. And I think they're going to go after the fact that they use balls for something.
It can be more pedantic because they've got the one for catching a monster with a ball, but they've also got patents. Like, they won a patent suit against a mobile company, had nothing to do with any of their IP, but they went after them for having it ask you if you want to continue playing after coming back from turning the screen off on your phone. They have a patent for resuming from a screen being turned off. Like, Nintendo has so many basic-ass patents, and they just, who knows why, seemingly patent troll devs whenever they feel like it, because like they have patented most of the most basic shit you can imagine.
The shadow of your character going behind an object in a game. You know, like where you'll see an outline of your platformer character if you're behind a tree, so that you can gauge where you are in any game. That's a patent Nintendo own.
And they could probably beat you in court on it.
I mean, it is gross. And like, this is the one time, like, I really want all of those folks that dole out crazy high scores and I love you, Nintendo. Like, hold them to account on this one.
Yeah, Grub is pissed. Grub is like, yeah, no, this is typical awful Nintendo. And it's like, I love their games, but as a company, they are one of the worst, and it always gets overlooked.
Anyone in chat that's good at this stuff, can someone look up if Ubisoft has the patent on towers? And then I want Ubisoft to sue Nintendo for putting those towers in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. They just copied Ubisoft's tower thing. We're getting to the tower, reveals more of the map. Surely Ubisoft has the patent on that. Sue the fuck off them.
I think it's disgusting to patent a gameplay mechanic. I think that's...
No. I've got no problem with patenting a gameplay mechanic. But you don't have to fucking sue everyone that implements something cool in a game.
Like the American
the whole
version...
point. Is to stop them from doing it.
It's not even to stop. It's especially in America. In America, it is very focused on you must show you have tried to defend it in case anyone ever does try to steal something from you. The precedent must be, I have patented this thing, I have a copyright on this thing, and if somebody pushes me on it, I will defend it. It's like with Fallout London. They can't back it. Otherwise, everyone else just starts coming in. They've got Fallout Tokyo and Fallout, every other city on the country, and they're using all this stuff and using the Fallout logo and if they try and make money off of it, they have to like Fallout London never tried to make money. That was the understanding. Like, don't sell this product, and we won't go after you, but we also won't give it the thumbs up. Because legally, that would open us up on everything. So that's why they have all these patents and all this stuff. It's just Nintendo will go and sue you in court and win almost every time because they've perfected being patent trolls, allegedly, supposedly.
It just does. It stinks, frankly. Pocket Bear did respond. Effectively like, well, this is frustrating because... that's the thing about it, man. It's like it wasn't like Palworld came out of the blue. They were showing off that game before it released.
And the patents they got were gotten in the middle of 2024 and granted in December.
So it's almost like they were like, shit, we can't get them on copyright. Quick, let's patent this. And then once we've got that patent secured, now we'll go after them for it. I mean, it stinks. It's stinky. It's a stinky thing to do, Nintendo.
It sucks shit.
It is.
Honestly, Palworld should just change all the balls and turn them into squares. There you go. I'm throwing a square. Like go fuck yourselves, Nintendo.
Or just have a watch or something and you suck them into your watch or some shit. Just change it. Nintendo, that's what I mean, man. It's a shame that Nintendo goes back to their 80s self every now and again. Their scummy 80s self. Because they, like I've said 100 times, they were fucking pricks in the 80s. Nintendo. They were absolute pricks.
Yeah, I bet.
Just, man, it's such scumbag behavior.
Yeah.
Oh no, this little indie dev made pocket change compared to what we make. Let's go after them. It's like, come on, man. Fuck off. Seriously.
Nintendo. But yeah.
Assassin Entertainment, executive producer. Grand benefactor.
Damn straight.
Entertainment. If Nintendo wins, this could set a precedent that all publishers could patent game mechanics or sue others for patent infringement. This is dumb. Yeah, it's true. That's what I said. Ubisoft should patent the towers.
Well, Nintendo has already sued many people in Japanese court and won. This isn't even new. This isn't a new precedent. It's just a more public example of them doing it and people realizing it.
Scumbags.
It's kind of gross.
Allegedly.
But hey, all this talk about consoles and infringements and people just being horrible and taking the piss out of their customers and the industry at large. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, when this was announced, there was a lot of uproar about the price. Understandably, it's the first $700 console thing.
1,200 Australian.
1,200 Australian, absolutely insane. And everyone was like, rightly going, nah, this is not it. But Sony
make it grey. Make it grey.
They know their audience. Hey guys, remember PlayStation? Here's a grey one, and everybody's just freaking out about it now.
I do want the digital. I do want the base digital because I missed out on the 20th anniversary PS4. I wanted that. I got the controller, but I did not get the console. I would like that. I will sell my digital PS5 with the purple plates, and I will try and get a hold of one of these ones.
Not the Pro.
And also one of... No,
I bet you that Pro would be at least 1,500 Australian. Yeah, if not
2,000 Australian dollars. 2,000 Australian dollars.
So the consoles are both limited editions, as listed in the blog. You get with the PS5 Pro, you get the
DualSense Edge.
Yeah, a DualSense Edge and a DualSense for the 20th anniversary look.
Yeah.
So, and then
if you
a bunch of little things. You get the stand for once.
So PS5 Pro is already 1,200 Australian. Add another $100 for the retro look of it. So there's 1,300. Add another 400 for the DualSense Edge. That's 1,800. Add another... there's the
$30 stand. You get the extra
disc
cover.
drive cover.
Yeah.
You get the charging stand. That's about $50 Australian. This thing's going to be $2,000. This is going to be 2,000 Australian dollars.
I was just reading the press release. I thought that the bundle came with the physical disc drive, but it's not. It's just a cover.
The cover.
And you have to go and buy the disc drive.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they always. I think they always give you the two covers. With it, but obviously they don't give you the disc drive. But yeah, it looks nice. It doesn't look.
It does look great.
Like it looks gray. I wouldn't say great. It's still an ugly ass console, and also the Pro is big. The Pro is back to being very large. Yeah,
it's very tall.
Like just being gray and like I don't feel nostalgia. Unlike Nick, I wouldn't give two shits if they had an original Xbox Series X or a Xbox 360 looking Series S. I'd be like, neat, good for everyone who wants one. I wouldn't want it.
I tagged Jason Ronald on Twitter and said, hey, Jason, you know what would sell real well? If you put a Series X inside an OG Xbox case, and if you put a Series S inside a 360 case, I reckon that would sell pretty damn well.
I don't know, man.
I wonder if he's ever tinkered with that before. I wonder if he's ever just sort of tinkered with that in the lab before.
Both of the
working inside the different shells.
Yeah.
They're decent sized shells compared to those systems, so maybe. But the other things that come with the consoles, you get the original PlayStation controller style cable connector housing, so it's got like that wider plastic.
I love
clip.
that. I thought that was very clever.
Cool.
I like
That's a nice touch.
That was very clever. I like that.
You get 4 PlayStation shapes cable ties, a PlayStation sticker, a limited edition poster, one of 30 possible designs, and a PlayStation paperclip, which I think is just the horizontal stand.
Yeah. I do like the USB cable that looks like a PS1 wire.
Yeah, it's got the big wide
I thought that was
housing on it.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been checking EB's website and they still don't have it up yet. So I don't know.
Boxes all look like the original PlayStation
PS1.
box. Yeah.
Which looks fantastic. I like it.
But it's worth mentioning there's only 12,300 of these being made.
For the Pro.
The Pro,
yeah. And it is just a bundle. Like you can't...
Yeah. You can't get it on its own.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, they did not say the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we know it's going to be like probably $1,000 US, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
If not more. Again, I'm going to try and get that digital base one. I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll be successful, but I'm definitely going to have a crack at it because I missed out. I missed out on the 20th anniversary PS4, and I missed out on the 500 million PS4 back in 2018. I was in Greece at the time, and I was just like, oh my God. I went into an electronics store that was right there that mostly sold Sony stuff, and I was like, oh, have you got any of them? He's like, we only got 2 allocated to this store. He goes to me, and they're both gone. I'm like, fuck.
Bummer.
I'll spew it. Again, I only got the controllers. I got the 500 million DualShock 4 and the 20th anniversary DualShock 4. I have so many controllers in that cupboard back there, like Xbox, Switch, PS4, I've got so many controllers in that cupboard. I have no idea.
But why?
I don't know.
Because he is a hoarder, as you can see with the ID at Xbox games that come in. Just
I see nice controllers, and I figure, well, they're a lot cheaper than buying consoles.
Yeah.
So I've got the Forza, that beautiful Forza Horizon 5 controller. I had the Sea of Thieves one, sold it. Should not have sold it, but sold it. Titanfall controller. The 20th anniversary Xbox controller. I got that as well.
Aww.
It's not just the...
What a nice super chat.
Yeah, I got that as well. Steel Magnolia 666. Hi guys, been listening to you for ages. First time catching you live. Just wanted to say thanks for all the great content. Love you all.
Aww.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Steel Magnolia 666. And love you too.
We too.
You're loved.
It's true. Feel loved. Feel the love.
John Sleepy, next
love
story.
you even more if you were... No, I won't say that. I won't say that.
If you were female. Yeah, fucking perv.
I was going to lead in
questions.
I was going to lead in on the joke there.
I guess it was good that Nick completely ignored the change to Patreon questions this week.
No, I didn't. I saw that. I did see that.
Yeah, and you ignored it.
I did see that. What do you mean I ignored it?
We were supposed to do the Google Forms.
We were going to do the Google form and you just didn't.
No, because I wasn't sure how it would work.
You just put the link, and then everyone puts their question in. Then make a post on the forum and close the thread. It just has the link, so any patron can go to it and submit a question.
I freaked out because I clicked on the link and my details were there. So I thought, I don't want to send that link and people see my shit. So I didn't do it.
Well, the link from me, it shouldn't have anyone's details. It just has your own, because you need a Google account to fill it out, and no one else would see it. Only the people who can see submissions would see it.
Because when you said contributor, I was like, does that mean that anyone who clicks that link...
No, they don't see... You don't see the people that made the form.
And
it
that's
means
why I freaked
you
out
can
a little
go in
bit.
and see the answers.
Okay. Yeah, so I freaked out a little bit. I was like, well, I don't want to send that just in case. I'll wait for next time. But that's...
We're going to get into a little bit of Xbox news now, but I just wanted to touch on this briefly. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet from earlier this week. This was a weird moment for me. It's not in our news run, but there was a great article and a kind of like a deep dive into Sarah Bond and her journey to Xbox, to becoming president of Xbox, which is now her new role, right? Lots of fascinating tidbits in there, but one of the ones that suddenly made me go, was that her dad was a BT executive. BT, if you're in the UK, British Telecom. Now, my old man, back when we lived in the States, used to work for IBM. He was doing a deal with IBM and BT poached him and said, come back to the UK, we'll pay you loads of money and come work for us. And he did. So I read this article and I just pinged my dad, right? He was a BT veteran for like 30 years or something nuts. And I was like, hey, man, did you work with a guy in BT with the surname of Bond? And he put, Bruce. And I was like, oh, yeah, Bruce Bond, Sarah Bond's dad and my dad worked together in BT. And this is the funniest comment. This is a typical dad comment. He goes, nice bloke. Pushed everybody to move to Macintosh for finance over Windows, which was a bit crap. I was just like, okay, Dad, thanks very much. But there you go.
There's an irony to that too.
Small world.
Did
My
she
dad
reply
knows
to your
your
tweet?
dad, Sarah. No, she didn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't type much. She just retweets things for the most part.
I'm definitely going to use that as a conversation opener whenever I see her next.
Be like, my dad worked with
my
your
dad knows your dad
and Snowbike Mike's dad, who is himself.
But anyway, as well as a deep dive on Sarah Bond, we also got a deep dive on Starfield Shattered Space.
That's all we're saying about Sarah. Did you notice in that interview how
we could say more about Sarah if you like?
If you read between the lines, it talks about how she's she pushes the envelope and all that sort of stuff. How many times have I said on this show? I've heard that Sarah is very like aggressive about competing with Xbox and all that. Told you, man.
My favourite anecdotes were the ones about Phil Spencer not rocking up to the CMA call with the UK because it went past his strict 10 p.m. bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's like, he'll wake up to. The decision's the decision. He's like, I'll just wake up to it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I have a friend like that who's like, he's got a really strict sleep schedule and he will not break it unless he absolutely has to.
I've turned into that. I go to bed at 12 o'clock every night now. I used to just be whenever, but now I go to bed at 12. I wake up at 8. That's it. It's perfect.
He has a method where if he does miss his schedule, he goes by his sleep cycle of 90 minutes and he'll deliberately be like, okay, well, my next scheduled bedtime is 90 minutes later or something like that. But there was that anecdote and there was the one of Sarah having to translate Phil's demands into not do what he says but do what he means or something like that. I'm just like, is Phil speaking in code? It's like, I don't know, man. It made me giggle a little bit, but it was a good piece.
We just had our first drop frames with Spectrum. It was only 5 seconds. It was only a few hundred, but it dropped some frames. Oop, wow. Dropping them again. What's going on, Spectrum?
Wow. What does that mean?
It just means that my internet's struggling. It's not perfect on cable, sadly.
Okay.
Yep.
But hey ho, it was a good. It was a good interview.
Sure, it's not YouTube having a problem.
No, because we don't have the CGNet issue that was a legitimate problem with YouTube. Just look it up. Okay. Look up T-Mobile CGNet. It makes things a lot harder.
Oh yeah, we're still.
Oh yeah, no, it did it again. That's what I said. It keeps going up and down.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Fingers crossed. Choppy.
Might have to go back to 4G.
Yeah. Quick, fire it up.
I'll call them up. It took me only 2 days ago. I finally sent them back the friggin' hotspot. It took that long for them to figure out how I sent it back to them. It's like, it's your friggin' device. I just want to send it to you. They're like, go to the store. I went to the store 3 times. 3 times the store said, we don't see this device in the system. I don't know what to do. And I had to finally get it up the chain and yell at people enough where they're like, okay, yeah, no, this is it. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Come on, I just want to return this thing.
Yeah. But yeah. Starfield's got a deep dive as well. So we got a peek behind the curtain in a decent video for Shattered Space, which is its new expansion heading on September 30th, which is a mere 8 days away.
Don't have it yet. I hope I get it this week.
Exciting.
Clock's ticking, Bethesda. You know?
Yeah. On getting the game for review. Code. Yeah, because it comes out on the 30th, which is 8 days from now. I don't imagine it's going to be unbelievably long and take like 800 friggin' hours to get through. It'll probably be, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20. So, a couple days here and there. But other stuff is going to start hitting, so the sooner the better. I'm really looking forward to it. This was the video they showed at Gamescom. Like, it's the exact same one. They just released this one. I don't think they released Indiana Jones. I'm wondering why. But I guess maybe because they did a full preview for Indiana Jones instead. But, this looks awesome. Like, it looks like the thing I think a lot of people who love Bethesda games we're hoping to find more of in Starfield, which is one big area to just go in a direction and explore more. Everything takes place on the home planet of House Varun Kai. Really horror-focused in a lot of ways, but it is just one planet you get to go around. For some reason, I think Insider Gaming wrote you're locked to one planet on the expansion, and people took the word
negative
locked.
Slant.
They took the word locked as you can't leave it once you go there, but you can. But yeah, no, it looks really good. I'm excited for it. I think a few million people are going to have access to it because it had so many goddamn players that did the early access, which the main thing you really got out of it was this expansion. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. One of the prettiest games out there, no matter what anyone will tell you. I really hope we get to review it, and if so, I will have it. God, if a Monday release, I imagine it would probably be a Monday embargo, because if it's a Friday embargo, that sucks.
Yeah, I think it will be a review on review embargo on release. Like, I don't imagine it being sooner than that. Could be wrong, but unless they're planning on strict story spoiler embargo,
or if it's like a
What did we give Starfield?
I give it a 9.6. You never played it, Nick. Who cares what you think?
Man's
I
got
wasn't
a point.
I was not even far off the Metacritic of that game before all the late 3s and 4s came in. It was an 88. It was very well reviewed.
3 of 4. Come on now. It's such a joke. This industry.
I don't even have an interest in playing it, and I know that's a stupid score for it.
The game had like 30 10s. Like, it had a lot of super high scores. I'm on like the second or third page of OpenCritic. It had so many high scores. Like, it's a really well regarded game.
It was like the 4. It was like the 4 for Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah. They feel so tired and bored of doing this now.
Playground are so clearly tired of making these games now. This is a 4 out of 10. It's like, no, you're a forkhead.
What was it that Metro gave Hi-Fi Rush 2? They said they couldn't give it a higher score because Xbox hasn't had good games lately.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
no, I thought it was lower than that. And they're like, well, Xbox hasn't made a good game in years, so we can't in all good conscience give this game a good score.
well, I know I've heard Patrick Klepek, I don't know if it was joking or real, but he said like Xbox hasn't made a good game in 13 years. Like, there are people who truly believe that. And it's one of the things that kills me. It's like every platform holder has had a bunch of good games lately. Like, no one's dying on the vine. It might not be your genre, but fuck me, Flight Sim 2024, the next thing we could potentially talk about that we weren't invited to.
Wait.
Flight Sim. Oh, what?
Correction. Metro gave it an 8.
Oh, there you go. Well, but it was deserved a 9.
Interesting.
But
anyway, sorry, you were saying
Flight Sim 2024, something we sadly weren't invited to. We're not in with the US side, which normally does all these fun things. They had a trip to the Grand Canyon where people got to fly around in a real plane and then fly that same area in Flight Simulator 2024. Whether you are into that genre or not, I don't think anyone can look at what this game is and not just be dumbfounded by the technical achievement.
Crazy.
It's
crazy.
Like, this thing you guys will see in a bit, like they got the animals from was it Planet Tycoon or Planet Zoo? Those are like the animals you see. The entire ground is modeled now. Like, the ground used to look like ass outside of airports. Now the ground looks great. Like, the entire Earth is essentially modeled, and yet the install size is only 30 gigs. It has a full career, and you go through and you have very specific things. You got to do it right.
Can't you get out and walk now?
Yep, you can get out and walk and take pictures, and it looks like a first-person shooter on the entire planet. Like, it is. I don't know how it's possible. It's crazy. Just got some footage playing here from old CW Lemoyne. Give him a like. I'll put the link in chat so you can give him some views. It is stunning in pretty much every way and adding pretty much everything you could have hoped for in what is a sequel. Like, it's a new numbered version of this game. It is crazy looking. When you're in a giant jumbo jet and you're doing just a trip with 150 people on your flight, you can say you're leaving Tampa and you're going to somewhere on like Africa or the South America. You're going to Brazil.
Did that spinny bit make your head go a bit?
Yeah. You will hear the local native language of the people that are on the plane. You'll hear Americans. You'll hear Brazilians speaking Portuguese. Like, even those types of things are just
Have they locked
crazy.
Asobo in?
They've locked him into a contract for this game for 10 years.
They'd want to.
Like, they are incredible developers. Like, looking.
They
at
are.
this.
Like, but it's not just that. Asobo, like, you're talking about a team. If you want versatility, like, they worked on Recall.
Yeah.
But then they've also made Flight Sim. It's like, dude, how much would they cost to acquire? Just fucking acquire them. Don't take the gamble that they get. Like, you have a Crackdown situation where the developer gets fucking bought and then you've got a problem on your hands. Just acquire them. How much could Asobo cost in reality?
They are tied in through the contract, unlike the company that was doing the cloud tech. So they are locked in for a long time. I'm extremely excited. I wasn't excited to review this one. I was more like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. Why not? I've enjoyed Flight Sim, but now I'm like, oh shit, I'm very happy I get to do this one. I've got all the gear.
It really does look nuts.
Got all the gear from Turtle Beach for all the different types of planes and whatnot. Really excited to see it. It's got a friggin' progression system and skill tree where you're unlocking licenses essentially for doing things right. Aerial firefighting, transport, flight scene, cargo transport, aerial construction, like all these different jobs. It's the main thing I wanted because Flight Sim was, I want to go see what this area looks like. I want to do a flight. Now it's, I'm going to do this whole progression system along with that other stuff, and it looks insane. And it's not 400 gigabytes to install, it's 30.
That's the craziest thing. 30 gig, everything else is streamed in. Bit of eyebrow raising on the recommended specs being 64 gig of RAM if you're playing it on PC.
That's what I got.
64 gig. I mean, that's fine for me.
I got that on my Mac. I got that on my Mac.
Yeah, like, wow, that's it's impressive. I did crack up. Like, I don't know why.
Series S. You can get it to run on most things. Just won't look as nice.
I was reading through the chat, and there's just a random message from Joe Sinister in the chat that just says it's eating the pets of the people that live the game there. And I'm like,
they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
Everyone always does the Trump. You don't do the JD Vance because he's so boring sounding.
Yeah, who? But yeah, there you go. So Flight Sim looking great, and again another first-party game releasing this year.
That doesn't count.
Microsoft.
I know it doesn't count. It's not over the shoulder, slow walk and talk action character crafting game.
Could this one be so universally appealing that it does get mentions in some way at the Game Awards?
No, Geoff won't allow it. When will you realize Geoff will not allow it? I know you all think I'm joking, and I know you all think, no, Geoff has no control.
He doesn't vote, but he says who votes.
Don't fool yourself. Geoff engineers it in a very specific way.
And we got a super chat that is on topic.
How much more? Surely the last 2 weeks.
Him versus hard drive. Didn't go well.
Oh my God.
Him versus hard drive has been very, very funny. Like...
Oh, it's been hilarious. They're just absolutely...
You could read his anger by the end of it. Like,
they're fucking giving it to him. They're absolutely giving it to him. And rightly so. Rightly so. Oh, my God. There's nothing wrong with having a preference, people. We all know Geoff loves PlayStation. That's perfectly okay that Geoff loves PlayStation. That's fine. It's not illegal. PlayStation... for a lot of people, is a very, very good brand and a console that brings a lot of prestige and nostalgia and all those things. But when you are in the role Geoff is in, you are meant to be a professional, and you are meant to, I say this in sports commentary. I don't know how many of you actually watch sport. The best sports commentators are the ones where you have no fucking idea who they support.
Mm-hmm.
They are the best sports commentators. There's some commentators in Australia for the Aussies watching, like a Bruce McAvaney. Hardly anyone knows who Bruce McAvaney actually goes for in the AFL because he's so good at his job. But when you're not good at your job, people know where your allegiance lies. And everyone knows where Geoff's allegiance lies. That is the problem. We shouldn't know. We shouldn't know that Geoff loves Xbox. We should not know that. But sorry. But Geoff, yes, I did. We shouldn't know that Geoff loves PlayStation so much, but we do. Because he's not great at hiding it.
You guys are going to see this. The new loading system, you're going to see in about 20 seconds. The new loading system for when you go into a flight in Flight Sim is just so good. It zooms in on that part of the Earth. You choose what you're going to do. Then it gives you an overhead view a few thousand feet up and then swoops behind and you see your plane come flying through all in real time. Oh my God. It's gonna hit you in few seconds. It's so good looking.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's so nice. It is one of those stunning technical achievement games, and if you don't like flying planes, there are tons of helicopters, which are way easier to get around and just sightsee if that's all you want to do, and get out and go walk around a city and stuff.
But is it still an actual sim?
Yes. Oh yeah. So it comes easy mode with all the assists on. You want a sim, you turn all the assists off, and it is nearly impossible to fly unless you are very talented or pilot.
Because I just remember that with the old flight sim games, apparently the story is that people were legitimately learning to fly with flight sim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can build a cockpit for a plane in this or anything, and you can learn a lot of the ins and outs of how to fly that vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got the force feedback stuff, you can ride the wind, because that's a huge thing with helicopters. I've got the rotor paddles, and a helicopter is mostly trying to stop it from spinning forever, because helicopter blades go like that, and the whole thing wants to go like that. So you are always riding against that with your rotor pedals, and like you can learn how to do that.
Look at that. There are legitimate moments where it just looks real.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It just looks real.
But here's a question. This is an interesting one, Nick. I could see this game getting 10s.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I get it. It's not a genre that is adored.
Well, it's at 90.
Like,
Flight Sim's at a 90
yeah,
on
I
Metacritic.
think I can't remember if I gave it a 9 or a 10, because for its genre, it is the absolute pinnacle of what a simulator should be, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So would you agree to see lots of 10s for this kind of thing? Because I don't see how this is going to score worse than the previous
Like I said
one.
about Alan Wake 2. I'll say the same thing about Flight Sim. I'm okay with it. I wouldn't give it a 10, but I'm okay with it getting 10s. And remember, Alan Wake was my game of the year. And I still said, yes, if I was reviewing Alan Wake 2, I wouldn't have given it a 10, but I am okay with Jesse giving it a 10. I will allow it.
You haven't even played it yet.
Same thing with Flight Sim. Like, it's undeniable, just by looking at it, the quality of the game. If the criteria is that this should be simulating you flying a plane, well, I mean, visually it looks like fucking real life, and by all reports, it is simulating the act of flying a plane. It meets the criteria of what it does, so it should be a 10 by that criteria
this scene now
alone.
is this guy just walking around going through a friggin' jet. And Flight Sim 2020 was a 92 on OpenCritic, so we will see if this one is similar, because it seems a lot better. Who knows if it is?
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Good old Collingwood. I get pissed off that basically gaming media are sidelining Flight Sim 24 because it's a niche title. Yeah, it's shit. It is shit that the Game Awards and all those, the media and all, it's all about only certain titles get all the praise and all the fucking glory, and not these other ones. Look, a great game should be a great game regardless.
Yes.
It shouldn't matter what its genre is.
Oh,
yes, and also Grand Benefactor Assassin Entertainment about Asobo. They did a Plague Tale as well. Yes, I forgot about that. They did the Plague
Tale. They even did Monopoly
do
deal with Ubisoft on the 360. They did a card game. Like, they're a talented.
They're one of those developers, that can just do anything. I had heard a while back that I think probably due to their experience with Flight Sim, they had been prototyping a racer that uses a lot of that mapping of the world and stuff in an arcade racer. Again, they were prototyping it and fiddling with it. I don't know if a game was ever going to come of it, but they were mucking around with it.
I don't know why. I just had this, like, imagine they make an Earth with all the oceans and stuff, but they make all of it like set in the 1800s, and it's pirate ships, and it's all just, everyone's just in one thing. And as you go around, you can start building fleets and like trade companies, and you can go sail around a bit. Yeah, like just the world of thieves, right? And it's just that, but you can go on land and build camps. Like, the potentials for this cloud streaming technology in the future and what it could enable from a connectivity and gameplay perspective for a game that could be that massive with everything simulated is,
you know what would be even more amazing?
Kind of awe-inspiring.
If within Flight Sim, it got expanded on so much, right?
Yeah.
And eventually, Flight Sim had games within the game. Do you want me to explain what I mean?
Well,
so you fly to Greece, and you go. No, hold on. Even say Australia then. Fucking hell. You fly to Australia and you fly to the outback in Australia. Jump in a car and there's a racing game that starts. You fly to Greece and you see all the ancient art. You see all the Acropolis and all that sort of stuff in Greece. And then there's another game that you can do while you're there in Greece. Or you fly to America, and then in America you fly to Dodger Stadium and you start playing baseball. You fly like games within the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
the metaverse.
Could you imagine if they started doing that? Because it's literally the Earth. So imagine if they did something like that. I reckon that'd be fucking cool ass.
I just
so
like.
good.
I feel about like that. They could come up with their own planet and their own set of data and build a whole new world, and then make something on that world that connects to each other, and everybody could. Like, there's so much potential.
Then Microsoft gets their grubby hands on it, and Tim and Satya are like, wait a minute, we can like sell real estate and shit. Let's like get people buying houses.
Second Life too.
yeah. We'll get people buying houses on Earth, and let's fucking just charge them all this money. Oh my God, could you imagine?
Yeah.
I do have some breaking news if we want to add it in.
Yeah,
very light.
What is it?
Jez was on with Gaz on Septic Sauce earlier and made the statement that Halo Infinite has been profitable for a while now.
Not surprised. The price of those microtransactions in the store.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did anyone ever say that Halo lost money?
People tried to say Halo cost $500 million so that it could never have made money. I think the issue with Halo was it wasn't the thing to carry the division for a while. That maybe that's what they were hoping for. It was going to make so much that they could take their time on other stuff and catch up. But yeah, it's a really good game now. It was always a really good campaign. It had very fun to play multiplayer, but it had that thing where they just had nothing prepared once it launched, and it took a year and a half to become great. And that was just too long for it to ever be huge. Also, most multiplayer games need to be everywhere. We've seen it with Helldivers 2, which is a great game, but it's not everywhere, and it has hurt it. And it hasn't gotten content enough. It's a very hard thing, but Halo Infinite rules. I love it. I stand by my review. Shut up, Nick.
Well, Halo Infinite was a good game.
Yeah, I gave it a 10.
10.
Yeah, I gave it a single player campaign. I've played it.
That's silly.
I played it 3 times before it came out, and I only had a week.
I love the campaign of Halo Infinite. I'm not saying it's not good. Halo Infinite had a very good campaign.
And I would give Mario Odyssey an 8.5.
Yeah, I'd give Halo
6.
Infinite's campaign.
You said 6 the other day.
Oh, that was just to piss you off. It's a 9.
Halo Infinite was a fantastic campaign. I put it right up there. It's probably in my personal top 3 Halo campaigns. It's a great campaign.
It's not in mine.
John wants those big moments that actually aren't that big when you look back at them, like the Scarab fight. The Scarab fight sucked.
I want the evolution of what they were and how they felt, and that didn't happen.
Angry monkey in the little tower control room. Way better than a Scarab fight. That was an angry monkey.
But yeah, it's a great game. I love Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite's campaign was genuinely good.
I try and play it on stream whenever I can because I just always love going back to it.
Next up.
Hey, John, before we do that, we haven't talked about it. November 2nd. Extra Life.
Oh.
Number 4.
4 years running.
Yeah, this will be our 4th annual Extra Life stream, November 2nd, starting roughly noon Eastern US, maybe earlier if I wake up early. I don't know if either of you guys can join me or not. I don't be super early for Nick, so it wouldn't be until after the podcast. But we'll do the podcast on StreamYard that day because my internet will be taken up by this stream. But we are raising money for the John Hopkins All Children's Hospital of St. Petersburg, Florida, which my wife's family has a long history of them helping them out. I will not have a store this time. It will be a series of numbers to try and hit, and every time we hit one of those numbers, I'm going to do a giveaway on our public Discord. That is discord.gg/XboxEra. We've already had $75 in donations from the lovely executive producer, Mohammed Sharez. So that is already guaranteed at least 2 giveaways. I have a lot of stuff. I'll lightly tease some of them now because I don't want to just put the games up on the website. But for things I am looking at putting on there, why, I've got that Prince of Persia DLC, Nick. I feel bad. I wish I had told you. I didn't realize you were going to buy it twice. Prince of Persia DLC, a couple copies of Wild Bastards, the Jackbox Naughty Pack.
You've got the DLC, a code for it.
Yeah.
On Xbox.
Yep. I've got Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, Cat Quest 3.
I paid twice for that DLC.
I've got an Age of Mythology Retold. I've got a Funko Fusion. And I've got an NBA 2K25 All-Star Edition. That's like the biggin'. And
I bought it. I was so excited that I bought it. I was like, I have to have this DLC. It was like $7.50. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to buy it. And I didn't check before I bought it that there was also a complete edition upgrade, which was $14. That gave you the DLC, all the skins, all this extra stuff. So I was like, oh my God. Well, I want those extra skins, but they're $4.50 each. So I'm like, I may as well just buy the complete edition upgrade. So I basically bought that DLC twice.
Wow. Never mind, mate.
But
yes,
God.
Jesse's second live stream. Good news. I haven't got the kids that weekend. So yeah, I'll definitely hop in. I believe I owe the community another stint at Alien Isolation. So although I'd rather you pick a more fun horror game for me to like wade through.
Right, Alien Isolation is amazing.
I don't enjoy it. Like it's not like it's this.
Oh, such a good game.
Nah,
such a good game.
So much meh for me.
Unbelievable.
But I'll do whatever the community wants. But yeah, I'm around, Jess, so no worries. But yeah, as Jess said, just make sure you're a part of discord.gg/XboxEra to be in it to win it. And obviously,
no one can accuse me of not loving the Lost Crown. No one can accuse me of not loving that game.
Spent the money.
Did you agree with my 9.5? I think I gave it.
I love it so much. I bought the DLC twice.
There you go.
Now I have to make it my game of the year.
Is it? You know what? I was gonna say more than Astrobot, but after talking with you about Astrobot, yeah, I can believe it. You love Astrobot, but I think you love Prince of Persia more.
I do. Astrobot, it's. You know how I was worried before it came out that maybe it's going to be a bit too long?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too long. It's a little bit longer than it needs to be for that type of game. Because the gameplay doesn't have the depth of a Super Mario Odyssey in its mechanics. It just doesn't quite have the depth that Super Mario Odyssey does. I feel like it can't justify its length.
Well, Nick, please shut up because we have just gotten yet another $100 donation to the XboxEra Extra Life stream. We are now at $175. Thanks, of course, to Mr. Torn Raptor, who has joined fellow patron Mohammed Sharez. The goal for this year... So this year, it's not even pre.
Glorious.
So it's open now. It's open through December 31st. If you want to give $1, if you just want to watch the stream and cheer me on and whatever, I'm going to go.
I think you need to do Control-Shift-V for that link.
This freaking thing. Yeah, I hate this goddamn shit and stuff lately. Having to, like, I would also disappear now. I got to do it again. It's already the link up in the top, but I'm just going to do it again. Boop. Oh no, it's because I'm trying to do it through OBS, and OBS is a bitch. Boop. There we go. But yeah, so from now through December 31st, if you look there, it's set for $1,000, which is only half of what we got last year, but I'm not making it a store or anything this year. So trying to be realistic, there's a ton of giveaway lists up there, and I'm going to keep trying to ask PR companies for more stuff. They've been super generous already because Nick steals all the ID at Xbox ones. So I
take like one a week.
Every 25 to 50 bucks is generally a code giveaway. That means on our Discord, I will do a giveaway for a code because it is so much easier than doing it anywhere else. I would like to make it open to as many people as possible. So even if you don't, just join the Discord, click the little party popper that comes up when I do the giveaway. If you win or lose, you can immediately leave the Discord if you don't like Discord, but it's way easier to do it there. And no, I can't do it in the YouTube chat or anything. But if we start doing real good and we get over $1,000, I will try and find more incentives. Because right now, the $750 incentive is for John and making him play Alien Isolation once again.
Yeah, I just spoke about that. I'd rather play like a fun horror game. Like
we can figure it out.
I haven't finished Alan Wake 2.
It's
like
not a
I wouldn't
horror
mind
game.
booting that up on it. Oh, okay.
It has it has jump scares. It is not a horror game. So I'm going to change that one for you, John, because I don't
mind. Like,
I'm going to be playing Alien Isolation on the stream. That was the $50 tier. We've already gone past that. So force John to play a very scary game. I'll come up with something good.
Okay, I'm in. I'll do it.
That's our $750 tier on the XboxEra Extra Life charity stream.
Okay, deal. I'll be there. I've got no kids that weekend, so it's all good.
Tom
Warren in the chat. Did I miss all the juicy stuff? there isn't that much juice this week.
No,
right?
no,
it's juicy.
Exactly.
There's not that much juice. We complained about Nintendo being dicks. We talked about Xbox.
I talked about how Geoff won't allow Flight Sim to get any kind of recognition at the Game Awards, which he won't. The PS5 Pro will probably win an award for something. He'll find a way to engineer it so that the Pro wins an award for like...
It's going to be an Astrobot sweep. Like that whole award show is just going to be Astrobot winning everything.
Best design. Best graphic.
And I say that as someone who
loves
give,
it.
If I was reviewing Astrobot, it would be like a 9.5. It loses the 0.5 because of its length. It's longer than it needs to be. Because I have my dashboard has updated now 11 hours and I'm at 63%. 11 hours. It's way longer than it needs to be. It shouldn't be that long.
It's very funny on the gaming leaks and rumors subreddit that always hates Nick. They also really hate Jez for some reason, and they tend to hate Tom. But right now they've swapped back around, and if Tom says something, it's legit, and if Jez says something, it's not. But oh, hey, the Torn Raptor donation just popped up right there. Everyone, that was very loud. People on stream are going to hear that in about 20 seconds, or they're going to hear it now with me talking about it. But yes, thank you, Torn Raptor. I love you. Kisses. Mwah. And Insider culture fandom is fucking weird.
All right, I'm gonna get things moving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that was loud.
Yeah.
Last couple of things in the news. Krafton, the CEO, was interviewed talking about the purchase of Tango Gameworks and the acquisition of the Hi-Fi Rush IP. Wants to make Hi-Fi Rush 2. Doesn't think it will make money, but does want to let the team cook. That's pretty much the nutshell. Quite an unusual thing to hear from a CEO. But great.
It shouldn't be an unusual thing of a CEO in a creative medium. No.
I agree with you, but it's an unusual thing to hear from a CEO nowadays.
It's not the type. It's the type of thing that happens all the time. It's just not the type of thing you normally say out loud. Like art,
Microsoft could learn a thing or two.
Microsoft has it, and like they all have their angles, and they all have their things they go for, and they all have their things they say. This is a guy who runs a company that made $2 quadrillion and still does every month off of PUBG. Like PUBG Mobile and PUBG itself are gigantic. They're not nearly as big. They don't have nearly as many things. They're still in that phase where they can more easily have their muses, and they can have their be a benefactor of art. Like a lot of companies have that, where they just like, yeah, this won't make us money, but we really want to see it. And we really like it. Like that's always a phase of all these things, and Microsoft's not in that right now. They'll probably get back to that at some point. Like it depends. Once you are too big, you stop going away from it. But the greatest benefactors of art throughout history have always just been bored rich people who want nice things to look at or listen to. So
true. Not that I want the podcast to drag on unnecessarily longer, but Mr. Hipshot in the chat, Nick lost an entire insider tier in the gaming news and leaks subreddit. Whole tier downgrade.
I just checked.
It must have gone
downgraded.
It must be going up and down because it's literally just a Google form anyone can sign into and vote for. It's the stupidest goddamn thing.
I just checked. I'm still tier 3 apparently, which is stupid anyway.
Yeah.
Tier 3.
I think Tom Henderson is like tier 2, but he's also been tier 1. But yeah, it's the dumbest thing. It's such a stupid subreddit.
Tier 3.
It's also barely ever has any leaks or rumors. It's mostly just people post news and then
I know.
It's so dumb.
There you go.
Those guys wouldn't even know everything I've ever teased or leaked. They wouldn't even be aware of all of it.
We should be on the list, Abdul, Mr. Zack and Clute for Dragon Ball Sparking. I don't know who was doing it. I don't know if it's going to be Ursula or Cengiz. They'll probably fight to the death over it, but we will have a review of it.
Yeah,
as long as we get it. We should be on the list.
Good. Next up, this was some fun topics this week. All PlayStation and Square centered, really. Square finally came out and said it in black and white that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Final Fantasy XVI
disappointments.
did not meet expectations from a profit perspective. There you go. They didn't make
Maybe they should have released them on more platforms.
And I know a lot of people say, well, they always have insane expectations, but friend of the channel, ZHughGX, who unblocked me on Twitter, Daniel Ahmad, did say they didn't on this one. They just really underperformed. Yeah. And I think it is that thing. It was a turn-based RPG, and people like the turn-based RPG, and it keeps moving away from that. But 15 was everywhere, and 15 did well. 15 was a mess at launch, but it became a pretty good game roughly a year or so after with the Royal Edition.
Don't forget, Sony would be paying fuck all for those money hits.
Mm-hmm.
Sony would be absolutely drilling Square down and bullying the fuck out of them and paying probably like $15.87 for those money hats. And that's why...
That's Australian dollars too.
Yeah, they're probably paying like $15 for those money hats because they're like, don't worry about Xbox. You sell like 2 copies on Xbox. Don't even worry about it. $15, lock it into PlayStation.
That's what Lindemann was saying. Like, because Silent Hill 2, people forgot it was a year exclusive. We knew that when it got announced, I'm pretty sure. And John Lindemann at Digital Foundry was still like, yeah, I don't think being on Xbox would really move the needle. And I saw Lucy James saying that as well about like Final Fantasy, I think it was on Game Mess. And it's like, I know it's not the biggest platform, but there really is this weird thought process in gaming coverage that it's a dead platform. And it's not. It still has many
Xbox
millions of players.
Spend a lot of money as well, predominantly. Especially for a third-place platform, for Microsoft to be making as much money as they do. And it's worth thinking as well. I think the comment of it wouldn't move the needle, I think the comments that people saying they should release it on Xbox is saying they should release consistently on Xbox and build that audience so it's there for those games. And like, that's the point.
Final Fantasy had been doing that. Konami's doing that with everything else. The only one who really isn't doing it right now is Koei Tecmo, and they've even shifted with Atelier coming, which has never been on the platform before. Like, the actual... And people get really mad. Like, Kage Maru, who used to work for us, got very mad and is still mad about the Capcom thing. And, like, it never should have happened. But it's like there can be legitimate reasons. Like, Capcom puts everything on Xbox. The only reason those other ones didn't make it is because they're super low-budget collections that they didn't want to spend time fixing the thing on, and they wanted Xbox to help it, and Xbox is like, well, no.
Or money.
Yeah, they wanted Xbox to help, a.k.a. time and money. What is the money for? It's to make it work again by paying people. Like, it's just... The support right now is far better than it has been. It doesn't mean it'll be perfect forever. I understand people worrying about the future. If they have less and less consoles sold or whatever, the situation ends up being. But, like, the actual support for the platform's good. And I think Atlas has shown, and Yakuza has shown, if you come and you give people everything and they get to play it and see these awesome games for the first time, they will buy them. They will spend money. It's not a platform like the Stadia or Ouya or something where nobody bought anything. Like, I don't know. It's I find it annoying that Xbox is dead. There's no point to put your third-party stuff on there. Point has just become the de facto one that everyone thinks is reality when it's not. Everything third-party stuff should be everywhere when it can be. I was talking on the expansion pass earlier. Sometimes it's a small dev. They really can't just get it out everywhere. Rogue Legacy 2 was on Xbox because they had a really good relationship with Xbox, and they did not have a good one with PlayStation. And they're like, we can definitely get this out on Steam and one more. And they chose Xbox because they knew them and they worked together. There was no deal or anything. Then they got it out on Switch. And I think it's eventually on PlayStation, but like a lot of the smaller things, it's really hard to get it out on every platform at once. But the bigger games like this, I definitely think they can. Like, they're used to it.
Especially when you're working in an engine like Unreal. Like, if you're working on Unreal, ports shouldn't be that arduous.
Especially when the Xbox GDK is supposed to give you a PC version, essentially. Like, it gives you the PC and the series versions, and even an Xbox One working one. Like, that's the point of it. And people saying, like, it's not actually hard to make things work on an Xbox. Just, it's not. It's a lot easier than it was, so.
Yeah. And the last bit of amusing, I say that maybe it's not amusing, maybe it's good. I don't know. You tell me. Is PlayStation fans that are a bit upset that most of the time
there's
not
two, John.
Original.
I didn't put it up there.
Titles.
There's two of them.
Days Gone apparently as well.
Yep.
I know. Yeah,
allegedly.
I know about both. But we know that Horizon Zero Dawn remastered is coming soon.
That is the most pointless remaster. Like, if you thought Last of Us was a pointless remaster.
These are both equally pointless to me because they both look and run really well on PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Yeah, like Horizon Zero Dawn especially. Like Horizon Zero Dawn, when it got updated for PS5, it was like, wow, runs at 60, still looks fantastic. Like, I don't understand what this is going to achieve.
Say what you will about that game, if you like it or don't, it's very pretty. And it is still very pretty.
They're both gorgeous.
Yeah, like the next one, too, might be prettier, but like just straight up remasters like this to make it look on equal footing with it, I don't see the benefit when you can go and buy this game for $5. Now you're going to remaster it and charge at least 50, if not more.
Yeah.
And
like, why?
The Last of Us 2 makes sense.
They're desperate for cash.
As much as we would make fun of The Last of Us 2, at the very least, it gets it on PC. It's not there. So remastering and doing The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, It's coming to PC. It's got that angle. Days Gone and
Horizon's already
Zero
on
Dawn
PC.
Both run just fine on PC. Like they're there. They're cheap.
That's what I mean. I don't understand what this is for.
I can see it in the chat, and I swear one of you said this was because there was going to be a TV show that
for Horizon Zero Dawn. I do think that is it. With the Days Gone ones, supposedly it might be this is how Sony. I think Jeff Grubb was saying it's how Sony wanted to like get that studio feet wet and up and running and figuring out how they work and doing all these things and take that time and money spent and get more money off of it by selling it to people. But like it really, that is you are milking your customers. Like it at that point, releasing Last of Us Part 1 first on PS5 and then later on PC was milking the customers. It's getting the two launches. They'll probably do the same thing with Last of Us 2 if they do that. Like how far away are we from Horizon Forbidden West remaster?
Forbidden West.
Yeah, like for PS5
crazy.
Pro. Like they'll probably
God of War 2018.
I do think they'll patch a lot of those things for Pro right off the bat because they want a selling point for Pro. But anything that doesn't get patched is probably just fair game for a remaster on Pro eventually. It's 6.
Like with Last of Us Part 1, if you really want to try and stretch and push it, you can say, well, they wanted to rebrand it so that they match each other, Part 1, Part 2, rather than just The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. They want to rebrand it so it all look the same and it all aligned and it's all PS5 cases. And I guess if you really want to squint your eyes and like try and rationalize Last of Us. And you could say that the remaster on PS4 was like in 2014, so it was 10 years ago. So it just looks like an up-resed version of the PS3 game, so still kind of ugly. So maybe they just wanted to... Because it is quite different to the PS4 remaster. It is,
and it got a lot of good accessibility options in, which was nice to see.
But with Horizon, it's like this is a 2017 game that already got updated for the PS5 and looks fantastic and runs fantastic. Like I just don't understand.
I forgot that you kill kids in Days Gone. Kid zombies. You'll see in about 15 seconds he's just murdering kid zombies.
I haven't beat it yet. I'm still playing it, but I haven't beat it yet.
Yeah, it's an okay game. It's not bad.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. Again, fine.
Especially
not shit, not great.
Heavily coded for biker culture in Oregon, which someone got very mad at me about, but it's like, go look at the history of Oregon. That's what I was talking about. It's better now.
Yeah, there is kids. That's right.
But yeah.
There is kids.
It's fine. It's a fine game. If I wanted to ever play through it, it's there on PC for me to play. I don't need it to look slightly better. Like, I don't know. These ones always kill me.
Put it this way. If Days Gone and Horizon Zero Dawn get the $10 upgrade path, I'll probably just grab them. Like I did Last of Us Part 2. For $15 Australian, whatever. You just do it anyway. Ain't no way I'd pay 100 and... like Last of Us Part 1... is $125 Australian. No, thank you. That's not happening. Last of Us Part 2, I paid I can't remember if it was $15 or $20. I just paid the $20. It's like, whatever. Get the platinum for free. Play through whatever, have a look at it. It's fine. I'll do the same here if they provide the upgrade path, which surely they would, wouldn't they? They'd have to.
You'd think so. I mean, especially if it's going to be at around a time where they're doing a lot of PS5 Pro patches. It would feel even shittier. Like, if you're going to charge for things that otherwise are essentially just patch. It would be very funny if they try to charge for PS5 Pro patches, but there's no way they do that.
No. But yeah, they'd have to. They'd have to do the $10 upgrade path thing for these two games, if they don't want to be complete scumbags about it.
We'll see.
We'll see. PS3 games, yes. Sony should be very systematically going through every PS3 game. If they're not going to do BC, even though I'd heard they're working on it, and so did Jeff Grubb, if they're not going to do BC because it's too hard or they don't think it's worth it, at least go through and remaster all the PS3 games so those games are not trapped on that hardware. Give us Infamous, give us Resistance, give us all the kill zones. I would, I didn't like Killzone 2 at the time. It felt yuck. It looked like there was Vaseline smeared all over my screen because of all the post-processing shit. But a remaster of Killzone 2, where it's beautiful 4K 60 and they tighten up the controls and make it feel nicer and tighter and more modern, yeah, that could become a good game then. The OG God of Wars, all of that stuff that's trapped on the PS3, bring that across. That is justified. Completely justified. PS4 stuff? Oh, come on. Late gen PS4 stuff? That's ridiculous.
It's just so ridiculous.
Anyway.
That's all the news.
It's just so ridiculous.
Pretty much. A little bit of housekeeping before we dive into, I believe, a little game. A little bit of housekeeping. Starting next week, community questions will be done via a Google form that will be available to you in the Patreon thread as normal.
Yeah.
And on the Discord. And we will be asking you for a category. So you'll know what the news of the week is. If you have a question relevant to the news, just put the category in, free type it. We'll be able to sort them in. And we're going to try and get the whole thing feeling a little bit more free flowing. But yeah, just bear that in mind starting next week. What else? I'm sure there was something else that I wanted to mention that I can't quite remember. Oh, very briefly, just a quick update for those folks that have backed Console Wars, the card game. Work is underway on finalizing everything. And for those that are interested in the minutiae or have played it at Gamescom, in order to make further expansions a little bit more seamless, we've actually rejigged the genres of games that are within the card game so that in the future we can just add them all into that bucket and it will all just magically work.
Yeah, very Magic the Gathering, where you've got a bunch of hoppers and then it's essentially you're buying a skin in video game parlance for that hopper.
Yeah, it's a very good way of putting it. It keeps
things from getting overly complicated where you're trying to figure out where your DLC pack might go in the future. It just goes into one of these things.
I could, but basically the 12 genres that we've ended up going with, and this is kind of like trying to be as catch-all as possible, are horror, casual and arcade, fighting, sandbox and survival, third-party franchises, action and adventure, shooters, role-playing, racing, sports and sims, strategy, and platformers and family. There you go. Those are the 12 genres. We are hoping to have all of the work finalized and done end of this month over to our printers, get all of the prototypes back, and then we give them the go. Production starts shipping in Q1. So it's very exciting times. Very exciting times. But yeah, I guess now it's time for a game of what year, my dear?
Correct.
What year, my dear? We're back. If you haven't been around here, I'm sure you have. Every week we like to do a little game show where we get to reward our legendary patrons that follow and support us in everything that we do. And we pick a random Patreon each. Nick and I will battle it out. Whoever wins will win that Patreon member a game code. So if you want to be a part of the Cool Kids Club, head over to patreon.com/XboxEra. All right. What year, my dear? What's the
I'm gonna make this.
What's
look
the
right.
theme this week?
Hold on, I gotta really quickly actually make it look right because I forget how the hell I even did this. Name a game, no background. Was it game background? Display capture. That's what I get rid of. Okay, to go to this. We are Madeir. Now we've got to go in to make everything show up. So category for this year's or this week's What Year Madeir are Xbox Game Studios published titles. That means anything from 2001 to now.
Wow.
It's a lot of games. I am just, and I did not write these ahead of time. I'm literally just have their Wikipedia open. So if either of you two do that, go to hell. You're cheaters, and I hate you.
That would be poor form.
Mm-hmm. There's the scoreboard. All right, no buzz in or anything this time. Just have your phones ready. You are little guys. Where your face is, put your year in front of your face. Because you're not that big on camera right now.
Yes, sir.
So, like, just do this. Otherwise, no one will
Phone
see
ready.
it. I actually can't see it myself, even. All right. Number 1. A Microsoft published title. This was a PC-only one, I believe, at launch. It was called Dungeon Siege. What year? And
Is this a Microsoft published, so not Xbox Game Studios?
This was Xbox Game Studios published.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on their Wikipedia. You have a problem, you yell at them.
Dungeon Siege.
The first Dungeon Siege. What year, Madeir?
Man.
And I was also thinking, do you guys want to go to like first to 10 or first to 15 or something? Or just should I do 15 no matter what?
As it is, it's nice.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
Okay, I think I've got...
Gentlemen, give me your
complete
years
guess.
in 3, 2, 1. Hey, nobody gets a point because you were both correct.
Well, oh.
Yeah, you both nailed it. 2002. Well done.
Nice.
All right, hold on.
Wait. God, did I say Noah's Boat Child? I was supposed to say Dungeon Siege. I don't know what the heck it's saying. All right. Wow, you got Dark Travesty in chat. Got it, but no one else did. All right, let me jump around. I try to not do the same year over and over again. Sometimes I might. You never know. Gotta mix it up. So it's also, with publishing, it can be weird. They might not have published it on some platforms. They did publish it on PC. So I will also say the platform it was published on. The next one is definitely first party. What year on the Xbox 360 was Gears of War Judgment published?
Oh shit.
I'm ready.
Gentlemen,
Shit. Wait.
I'm counting from 5. Gentlemen,
Wait.
give me your years in
He's quickly
5,
Googling it.
4,
No.
3,
I'm writing it on my iPad.
2011. Gentlemen, no points because you are both wrong in the exact same way. It was 2013.
I was going to say 13 as well. I was going to say 13.
We are tied at
Like,
0.
there's no way it was...
Should I give you 3? I'm going to give you 3 because it looks better than having 0 because you got it right. You both get 3 for the first one. All right. Let me find another one here. Where the hell's my mouse? There it is. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh. All right. This was an Xbox Connect 360 game. One of everyone's favorites. It was called The Gunstringer by Twisted Pixel Games.
Fudge.
Good game. That's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck me. When did the Connect come out? My brain is like,
Gentlemen, give me your years in 5, 4.
Oh, my pen.
4, 4,
There's a lot of Googling the answers
4,
going on here.
3, 2.
It's writing on a fucking iPad. Look.
So we got 2010, we got 2012. John gets 1 point as it was 2011.
Oof.
Very close one. What year's fun? I like what year, my dear. It's a fun one. All right. Gentlemen, this is an Xbox Live Arcade classic. What year did Shadow Complex from Chair Entertainment come out?
Oh, shit.
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, we still give time. Gentlemen, give me your years in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Closer by 1 year is John, as it was 2009.
Oh.
It is a 5-3 score right now. It's anybody's game. I think we've gone through 4. I can't remember.
Yeah.
All right. This is a Chrome's studio title. Who the hell are they? Well, they are the company that made Viva Pinata Party Animals for the Xbox 360. What year did that release?
Oh, sure. I'm torn. I'm torn.
Oh.
Got no idea.
I feel like I've gone one below here. I don't know.
Well, gentlemen, give me your year in
I cannot remember
3,
for the life of me.
2, 1. Both 09. You're both wrong. It was 2007.
Wow.
Really? That early?
Mm-hmm.
Really? The sequel dropped that fast?
Yeah.
Did FIFA... What?
Jesus. And I was going to go 2010. I was going to go later.
Wow.
Holy shit.
All right,
that's Party Animals. That's not the sequel. That's Party Animals. That means the sequel was earlier.
Oh, the sequel was Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's actually...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Party Animals was the DS release?
No. It's 360.
Wow, okay, my brain hurts.
All right. Gentlemen, with a 5-3 lead for Sick Mechanico through 5 questions. What year did Age of Empires Definitive Edition release for PC? This music's real good. Hopefully they don't ping us in for a patent or
Age
something.
of Empires
DE 1. John, Nick says 2020. John says 2022. You were both over. It was 2018.
What? Wow.
Oh my god.
On PC, yeah.
I swear, COVID has a lot to answer for. The last 5 years are just this bleh. Wow, 2018.
Wow, 2018.
Mm-hmm. All right, still at 5-3 after 6. What year did the Xbox One Kinect game Dance Central Spotlight release?
Oh, shit.
Spotlight.
I played a lot of this one. Kept me in
It was
shape.
a launch title for Kinect. I'm trying to remember when Kinect released.
Right alongside the platform in 2013.
Yeah.
It was in the box. That's why it cost $500. Idiot.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, give me your year.
Hang on.
3.
Did you just give us the answer then?
You asked a question when it came out. Nick says 2013. John, what do you say? You're both wrong. It came out in 2014. It was not a launch title.
Oh, really?
You tricked us.
Fucked.
You tricked us.
You
know what?
Dance
Central Spotlight released when they released the Kinect by itself. They bundled it with Dance Central Spotlight.
Wow.
You fools.
He fucked us.
I know, because I got it. I got the Kinect by itself.
Played quite a bit of that. It was
as
fun.
well. Dance Central Spotlight was fantastic.
Yeah.
All the Dance Centrals.
I played a lot of those to keep myself in shape. But I was working a lot back then, too. Physical labor. Gentlemen, what year did Microsoft Mahjong release for PC?
I don't fucking know.
Gotta throw some hard ones in there. They can't all be things you know of.
Random guess. Completely random guess. No fucking clue.
I want to play this again just because it's so generous. Everyone, I'm sorry if you go a little deaf.
What?
Both guessed 2008. You are both 4 years off. It was 2012. But you're the same amount of wrong, so no points. So it's still 5-3
We are like...
after 7. It's always fun when I do an Xbox focused one and you just fuck it up. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, this would be a tricky. That would be a tricky one. I won't do that.
No, do a tricky one. Fuck
All right. Well, I gotta find
Just
it again.
guessing years. What difference does it make?
All right. I gotta copy the text here. What year did the arcade, and I believe 360 arcade, but also actual arcade classic, when did Hydro Thunder Hurricane release on PC? Give me your years in 5.
Wait.
You making dumb faces isn't my fault. I waited.
Just 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds.
I waited
man.
5 seconds, and you still
Just
were
got
just
to swap
making.
the window from the
You were just
Wikipedia
making
page.
faces. You were like the whole time instead of writing. 5.
Let's take a step
4.
in the dark.
3, 2, 1. 2011, 2017. Nick is closer. It was 2012. 1 point for Nicholas.
Oh shit! I just knocked my screen with the iPad.
That'll be a $14,000 replacement Australian. All right.
Okay.
Let's go back to Xbox Live.
So is that 5 to 4? Is that 5 to 4
4
now?
after, I think, 7 questions. Might be 8. After 8 questions. So we get 7 more. Gentlemen, what year did the Xbox Live arcade classic from Double Fine Studios, Iron Brigade, release?
Oh, this was a great game. Great game.
I think I've got a good answer.
I don't care if it's good. I just care if it's correct. Gentlemen, in 5, 4,
I might be
1,
too
2,
late on
3,
this.
1.
I might be
2010
too
from
late on
Nick.
this.
2009. Nick gets
Yeah,
1 more
I
point
think
to tie
09's
it,
right.
as it was 2011.
Really? I actually thought it was 09. I thought, oh, am I going a year too late on this? I was gonna go 09 with John.
Man, I'm gutted.
Ooh.
Tied at 5. 6 more questions.
Good game too, Iron Brigade. Fucking good game.
It's crazy how time flies when you go back and try and look at when things came out. And you're like, what the fuck? All right.
I know.
Going back to the OG Xbox, when did PAM Development's Topspin release?
Oh shit! Topspin. Fuck. Topspin. Shit.
I'm not sure. I've hazarded a guess.
Shit.
It is a little bit of a trick
First
question. I know it
Topspin.
wasn't always Iron Brigade, but gentlemen, give me your years in 3, 2, 1. 0303, you were both correct. It was 2003.
Shit.
Right.
I was gonna go 02. Lucky I didn't go 02.
Did Xbox publish Topspin?
Yes. The first
Wow.
Topspin was an Xbox game.
Gentlemen, one of the most beloved games by perverts during the Xbox 360 generation. When
Dead or alive?
did Uno release on the Xbox 360?
Oh.
From Carbonated Games.
Ooh.
It's an early one.
That is very early.
Is it? If so, how much?
John's just gonna
Give
put
me
the same
your
year
years
as me.
in
I already know
3,
he will.
2.
I already know he's gonna put the same fucking year. I told
You were
John
both
he's
correct.
Gonna put the same. I knew he was gonna put the same year as me. I fucking knew it.
This is going to go on.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
We got 4 more. Nope, you can't go over there, Roger. Get away. That's where the power cables are. Dipshit. Stupid cat. I love him. All right. Gentlemen, what year did the Xbox One game D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die release?
Shit. Am I going a year too early here?
Gentlemen, show me your years in
Whoa.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I think I'm a
1.
year early. I think I'm a year early.
You are both correct once again. 2014.
Oh, shit. I thought it was 2015. Holy shit.
We are tied with only 3 left. Hot shit.
Oh.
Thankfully, I've got another 150 I can just randomly choose from. If
We forgot to talk about who we're playing for, but anyway.
Say it right now. Yell it out.
Sorry. I'm playing. Shit.
You're playing for Angel of Hope 923, and I'm playing for Hebs.
Yes. Love you both. Gentlemen, what year did Microsoft publish In Exile Entertainment and Chrome Studios Wasteland Remastered? For the Xbox One and Microsoft Windows.
Fuck.
Give me your years in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're both wrong. It was 2020. It was to coincide.
I was going to say 2020. I was going to say it.
Ridiculous. It was early in the year. They put them out for Wasteland 3 coming out.
And I was going to say 2020, but then Jesse threw me when he said Xbox One. I'm like, wasn't it series consoles as well?
No, it was February 2020.
I was going to say 2020 until he said Xbox One. I was actually going to say 2020. Fuck.
All right, 2 left, and you are tied. But I've got a lot more. We can just keep on going all night. Keep John awake. Gentlemen, what year did Project Spark release? Obviously for the Xbox One.
Man.
Yeah.
Stuff's good.
John's going to copy my year again. I can fucking smell it.
Well, because you keep showing it to the camera.
He's going to copy.
He wasn't looking, though. Show me your year in 3, 2, 1.
You show it first. Yeah, not this time.
Yeah, but he got it right, bitch. +3 for Sicka Mechanico with only 1 left to go.
Damn.
All right. What are we going to do here?
Relaxing a little bit now. A little bit calmer.
Comma for your mama. Ooh, this is a dick move, and I'm doing it. Gentlemen, what year did Hexic release? For the Zune. For the Microsoft Zune. Gentlemen, give me your years in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You were both wrong, and John wins. It was 2009 by a score of 17 to 14. John has won. What year? My dear.
Wow.
Congratulations to the lovely Hebs. You've won a game code. Make sure you reach out to either...
You know how good the new calculator is on the iPad? It finally has an official calculator app. You know how good it is?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Till now.
I've never given less of a fuck.
Give me, Jesse, give me an algebraic math problem.
I don't know any. I'm not in school anymore.
Oh. So if you go like... Wait. I'm going to do this.
They finally caught up to everyone and they immediately shot ahead of them. No one cares.
Amit Kumar in the chat. I imported a Halo 3 Special Edition Zune to the UK.
Nice.
I loved that device. And the Zune software for PC was so fucking good. The actual music player. It was the most beautiful piece of software ever. I loved that thing.
I wonder how much a Halo 3 Zune goes for.
Watch this. Hey.
Wow, $300. 180, 200. You get a fair amount for it.
Look how cool that is. You write down 5 + 5 and it just says...
Equals
like,
1C.
It's 10.
Oh.
How good's that?
I don't care.
It's so cool.
Hooray. Yay.
Yeah, that's so good.
Now,
and they updated the iPhone one for that too.
It's the time of the show where I like to remind everybody out there watching, be it listening to us on Spotify or watching us there, maybe catching up on YouTube, watching live right now, about how much Jesse and I love the patrons and are trying to enable everybody to get the chance to participate in community questions, but have consistently been delayed by someone that doesn't like you very much.
Yeah. Nick. Someone who was concerned about being fucking doxxed. Oh, what an asshole.
You know? So, as you can tell, he's not willing to risk much for you.
But I don't want to be doxxed. I don't want to be potentially doxxed. Sorry.
A bit of a jerk move. But hey, we do love you,
no
patrons.
Sacrifice.
You make everything that we do possible, and we really appreciate you. And
I'm not the one that loves you. I'm not the one that stops the show to make sure that you're mentioned when John skips over you. It's not me that does that. No.
I think they can tell insincere love from real love, you know?
Sure.
Pretty easily.
Okay.
We actually have had some new patrons. I should play their thing. Book and Beer. Thank you. He joined at the $6 tier. Thank you very much, Book and Beard.
Legendary.
We also had the KP, who keeps his name silent. He joined at a random $40 tier we don't have. He just pledges $40 a month because he likes us so much. I have tried talking him into joining the MVP tier because then he'd get cool stuff too, but he still do 40 if he wants. But yes, thank you both so much for joining. That's it for this. God, there's Torn Raptor's gifted subs have gone through everything, which is amazing. Again, thank you so much, Torn Raptor, for the 50 gifted subs and the shit, that's loud. I'm gonna turn that down. $100 Extra Life donation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and just a quick note from Grand Benefactor Assassin. Can you send him some nudes, Nick? He's still waiting on access.
Get your Beau DeMayo on.
Yeah. They'd be some good nudes. Jesse knows. Wouldn't they, Jesse?
What did I miss out on?
Nudes, wouldn't they?
I'm just going to hide Terran from the chat for a little while.
You basically saw me nude in Germany.
Oh, yeah, you're in good shape. Wouldn't you say the same about me?
You're not in my shape.
I'm a chunky boy, but I'm a mix of chunk and muscles.
Very diplomatically put, mate. Very diplomatically put.
Well, I mean, in person, I could bench press both of you and snap you like twigs. That's the difference.
That's true. Absolutely accurate.
Stronger than you think.
I don't disagree.
All right.
You got those bird bones. They're hollow, and they give you extra speed.
I'll tell you what I've noticed about...
I can leg press 600 pounds.
I can leg press 1,400
This week's community questions. All right, put your dick measuring contest away.
It's my leg measuring.
It's time for the community question. Again, you can see these two. You know, maybe
get to the community questions.
I'm the only one that loves you,
for sure.
I'm the only one that loves you. I've noticed, Nick, and I just want to make sure that you keep your chauvinistic, misogynistic comments to yourself. There's a few more ladies this week sending in the community questions. All right, so I just want you to just fucking be normal.
Ooh, ladies.
Right? No, none of that. Be normal.
Nick loves the ladies.
Probably, arguably, a little too much. You
can never love ladies too much.
Just be unwanted love. You can definitely do that a little too
I didn't
much.
say unwanted. I just said you can never love them too
unwanted.
much. It's not possible.
I don't think these ladies necessarily return your affection.
Ask any hetero wife who wants to be loved by her husband if they can be loved too much. I bet you the answer is no.
Absolutely.
No.
Free use households are messy. First question.
Oh, God.
Okay. Jesse Brawler. Happy podcast 229 friends. As someone who is poor as fuck and can't contribute a damn thing to y'all, I was very happy to see the crazy amount of generous super chats the more well-off fans provided last week. Speaking of which, welcome back Jordan Andell. My question this week is for the lovely bloke, Mr. Clark. John, any chance you would ever consider returning to the true 2023 Game of the Year, Alan Wake 2, even if it meant doing so on the lowly console? Because if you did so and streamed it, I promise I'd watch and leave a like on every golly gosh darn episode.
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to mute because there's a really loud bike going past.
Oh my god.
Really fucking loud bike.
Oh my god.
I live very close to a large sort of motorway.
You can say large. That's not large.
Not compared to America.
English large.
Thank goodness we got those fucked up roads.
Our roads are great.
Yes. Yeah, I messed the
in
quote
Tampa,
up, to be honest. But
yes, they're better. Game of the Year. It is 2033's Game of the Year.
2033. Holy shit!
I really wanted to play Alan Wake 2, but it broke so much for me so often that I just got annoyed.
So play it on Series X.
I'm not going to drop the money for it. I don't know. I'll wait for it to come to Game Pass maybe at some point when they want to cash it in. But It looks really nice.
It's a good game.
I'm curious
Such
if
a
it
good
was
game.
anything with your Intel. Would that be funny?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been. Yeah. Could have been.
Also,
maybe it's worth giving
DLC
it another
for
install.
that. Fantastic. The first one.
Such a good game.
Very interested on what the second one is because the first one is really good. The first one,
It is.
it's Quantum Break DLC. Don't let anyone else tell you anything different. That is Quantum Break DLC.
Yeah.
It is them doing
Such a
everything they can to bring Quantum Break into the Remedyverse without calling it Quantum Break because they don't own it.
It's funny. It's funny how they started doing that with Alan Wake, building up hype until they announced 2. Maybe this is the same thing for Quantum Break 2. Maybe they've already got a secret deal with Microsoft, and they're just slowly doing what they did with Alan Wake.
They are
just dropping
extremely
little
busy.
pieces
So it would be a
of
while.
Quantum Break everywhere.
It would be. Well, I mean, they've got 4 things they're working on right now. I do think they might have canceled one of them, but they got like Control 2. They got the Control PvE
Control
stuff. 2. Yeah, they've got a
Max
lot.
Payne remakes.
Yeah, should be good. Those games really do need a remake.
Max Payne 1 has the potential to be incredible if they get these remakes right.
Mm-hmm.
LeeLayfield. Hey guys, hope everyone's having a great week. Thanks to Dead Rising and the Plucky
I
Squire.
haven't played either.
Do you think Xbox should or would copy the My Nintendo reward scheme? Simply log in, collect points, get free merch. I recently got an awesome Metroid 2 poster, among others. Imagine being able to get old school Xbox OG or 360 game merch and posters. If you could, which poster would you go for? Lastly, I hope you're ready the Switch 2 and the Ocarina of Time remake. Oh, God. Yes,
Look,
the Nintendo... What?
Don't get excited for it. Don't play
Why?
for that game again.
Why? Ocarina of Time is from 1996. Why
How many
not?
times have you played it?
Like a couple?
Come on.
Yeah, but a full-blown remake, all modernized and everything, Ocarina of Time remake is 100% justified. That'd be amazing.
Full remakes are very different than remasters. I'm okay with an actual good remake, way more than a good remaster.
I'm a little bit bored of companies reselling the same thing.
Oh, me too, I know.
Yeah, but Ocarina of Time, they only did it once on the 3DS.
I know.
This is the first time it's being remade or remastered or anything on a home console, and it's
Allegedly
30 years later. Like, come on. Like, that's
also
to me, that's completely justified.
and Microsoft does have
it's
the
fine. I'm just
for his other point, Microsoft has the rewards program. It's just only good in America.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
amazing in
I
America.
like Nintendo's.
Yeah.
Nintendo's in Australia is really good. Like, every time you log on, you get points. If you log on your Switch and you go to that section where you get your icons, it gives you another 20 or 30 platinum points there. And then you can use those points towards merch on this rewards store. Some of it you can pay a bit of money, but you can use these platinum coins to get fucking cool stuff. Like, that's how I got this. I got all of these. This was all from Nintendo's rewards things. So I got these Zelda cards. I got this Lon Lon Milk keyring.
What kind of milk is that?
Tears of the Kingdom pin.
Tears of the Kingdom, the game you bought 4 times and never played. You spent $1,000
Another
on.
boss key.
Yeah, I'm as much as I want to go through your
So
entire
cool.
collection, I'm actually looking forward to this podcast being sub 3 hours. So
I was just
to answer,
showing you. It's related to the question.
It still kills me that
Lee's
Nick spent
question, I have a
$1,000
Mecha Soul
on Tears of the
poster.
Kingdom and then didn't play it at all. I love it.
I know, I'm trying to sell that limited edition of the game now.
I quite like Tears of the Kingdom. I'd go back to Tears of the Kingdom if I could emulate it again. It runs like dog shit on a Switch. Like, I have it on the Switch. They gave it to me, and I ripped that version. It's on my PC. But nobody wanted to watch me stream it because it's actually kind of boring and exactly like Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom is a better version of Breath of the Wild.
I actually like Breath of the Wild more.
But Breath of the Wild had more, I think, mystique to it. It was the first time it was such an iterative upgrade with really cool mechanics, but like...
I liked its simplicity.
yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom gets too involved. Like, Tears of the Kingdom suffers the same problem I had with Banjo Nuts and Bolts. Don't sit there asking me to build shit. Just give me the shit you want to do and let me do it. Don't fucking make me build shit.
Yeah.
I loved Banjo Nuts and Bolts, and I like Tears of the Kingdom just fine, but stop trying to make me build shit. Just give me the stuff to do.
Super chat, keep them coming in. Longer show. Assassin Entertainment, Grand Benefactor.
Grand Benefactor. Assassin Entertainment, John, respectfully, we need more remakes. I would never have played Resident Evil 2 Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or Persona 3 Reload without those remakes. How are newcomers supposed to jump in? That's right.
Shut the fuck up, John.
That's fair enough. It's a fair comment.
There are definitely,
I don't know,
there are games that need them. You know what could really use it? Like Fable. Like going back to some of those older games, they could really use some like a nice remake. It would help so much.
Anything prior to Xbox One and PS4 gen is completely justified in having a remake.
I just feel like it's just like, oh, we haven't got any ideas. Buy this again. You know?
No, I've got no problem with it when the game's that old.
Remasters,
I've got no problem with it.
Like Aspire doing all these Star Wars ones that are just the old N64 or GameCube game. I'm like, no.
So, tell me something. Are you telling me that we don't need remakes / modernized remasters of MDK 1 and 2?
I could not give a shit.
Those are great games that do not hold up so badly that if you could update them to have proper modern controls and whatnot, they'd be great. They'd be really fun. They wouldn't be like 10 out of 10s, but they'd be fun. Dude.
No, but they were incredible games for their time, made by Blizzard. Oh my god, Microsoft owns MDK.
Maybe those things are always weird. They sometimes are tied up in a ton. Like who owns Interplay? Wasn't it Interplay?
Wait, who owns MDK?
It was Interplay. But while you're thinking about that, let's move on to the next question.
MDK is owned by
developers.
Just gonna do
Shiny and Neversoft. Neversoft. That's Activision.
Yeah, but who published
Shiny
it?
Entertainment might own the IP though, just because Neversoft dev.
Oh yeah, Shiny. Who owns Shiny now?
So it had two. It had
successor.
It had Playmates
Interactive. The
Interactive.
successor to Shiny was Double Helix.
But also, it was published by Playmates Interactive in North America. So those old games were always a mess on who owns them. Next question.
Shit. MDK needs a remake. MDK could be incredible.
Poor John.
God, those games were good. MDK 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're fun. I like them a lot. Insanely hard.
CJAD 93. Hey, gents. I hope you've all had a good week. I don't have a question this week. More a comment. I decided several weeks ago to get rid of Twitter due to the mass toxicity. And last week decided I'd had enough of threads. Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks for doing your headlines show, as it means I can keep up to date with all that's happening in the industry and none of the toxic mess. What?
Read the next line.
Yeah, I know. I've read it. Even better, Nick's not on headlines, so everyone wins. Just kidding. Love you, Nick. Have a great weekend, guys. That's needlessly mean.
Oh, he said just kidding.
That's needlessly. That's needlessly.
He said just
mean.
kidding.
When you promote such dislike for the patrons, like it's going to come back through in the community questions.
Yeah.
Nick, you know?
Okay. Is this what you're trying to? You're trying to make this a thing? I mean, you're trying to make me not liking
the eye roll.
A thing.
It's getting to you. Okay. Is it getting to you? Is it getting to you?
Yeah. Okay.
He did.
No, it's massive deflection from you. That's all it is.
It's just doing the same bullshit we did to him back. You gotta expect it. Anyone does it to me though, they can eat shit because I streamed for our patrons 5 times this week.
Even I streamed for our patrons when I came back from Germany.
Mm-hmm. 1 time. I did 5 times in a week.
Yeah. So what? I had a chance. I was on holidays. I was on my holidays, and I came back.
What's that? Hytham G.
Next one. Hytham G. Hytham G. Not much a question, but a statement. Whatever Japanese or non-Japanese game it is at the TGS event, Xbox
Japanese.
is going to show, but I'll take it anyway for the effort to appease the Japanese gamers that Sarah and Phil are doing so good job. You two can do what you can.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know what
That's
means.
right.
He's
That's
saying they're
right,
doing so
Nick.
good a job, so do what they can.
That's right.
He changed the tense of they and you, but it was all they.
Yeah. P.S. If I had to predict what Japanese game it would be all the Final Fantasy games coming to Xbox based on what Jez Corden said. Otherwise, let's see what happens.
No, that's not what Jez said. This happened with Gaming Leaks and subreddit, or in Rumors subreddit. Somebody literally just said, Jez said it's all coming. And people came like, no. He said he doesn't know what's coming, but he said he could see it being pixel remaster in 16.
Yes.
But not remake. yet.
Yeah, I personally haven't heard anything about TGS.
Yeah, no one seems to know what it is other than they seem to have something at least.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Final Fantasy XVI for Xbox announced there. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because as I revealed back in January, they are working on Final Fantasy XVI for Xbox. I was first to that, regardless of other people lie to you about. So I would not be surprised to see that announced there. It was so weird that it wasn't announced at the showcase and everyone's like, oh, see, Nick, you were fucking wrong. I was like, wrong about what? I didn't say it was going to be at the showcase.
You were wrong about a lot of other stuff, but everyone was wrong about everything at the showcase. So,
yeah,
funny.
they got
you guys
everyone
good.
at that showcase.
That's so fun. But
they got everyone.
Also, Jez did say there's no contract keeping 7 Remake. It is a logistical issue where
I don't know about that.
But so there would be a contract on Rebirth. There would be a contract on fucking whatever they call number 3, Returnal. There would be a contract for those, but Remakes contract is up because all we ever knew is it got an extra year with Intergrade. They didn't extend it, I think is what he's saying, but they don't have anyone to do it because Square Enix is transitioning and they have less teams and they want to do their own ports. And that's why 16 had to be PC first. Still wasn't a very good port. They had really got themselves set up as a PlayStation 5 first and maybe only publisher. And it's killed a lot of their, and I don't think Jed said this, but it has definitely hurt their flow on getting things out everywhere like they used to. So it's more who's going to do it than it can't be done for some things.
I'm sticking to don't hold your breath.
Yeah, he's never intimated it's soon. Always said that. It's just that there isn't a direct contractual reason for remake. It's just who's going to do it is how I took it.
Like I said, all I've ever said is don't hold your breath.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the impression Sony did not want to let 7 Remake go. That's the impression I've always been under.
With everything selling so bad now, I bet you they don't care as much.
Oh, things change. Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Things always change. Like I said, look at Indie. Indie went multi, exclusive, multi. Things can change.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the indie thing was like, it really wasn't a great deal making it exclusive. And they were like, it's not really it's not worth it. Because still, he was talking with Gaz and it's like, they haven't ported a ton. They've ported a few select things and they've announced indie and that's been about it. But everyone's treating it like everything's going. Rip the Band-Aid off. And it's like, it's never going to be everything. No, they can't get everything over there.
Terran in the chat, Octopath is right. I had heard Octopath 2 was coming to Xbox fucking... Octopath 2? Or I can't even remember the Octopaths now. I had heard ages ago that it was coming and look how long it took.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have even heard Bravely Default 2, and that still hasn't come across. I think. I'd have to go through my DMs. Maybe I'm mistaken on that one, but I think I heard Bravely Default 2 as well. I think I had heard... Nah, Reddit didn't even get the PSVR 2 wireless thing.
Well, because no one cares about PSVR 2.
Reddit doesn't care about me anymore. It's fine. Okay, next question. Mrs. Hipshot.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hipshot. Ooh.
Calm down.
I love the profile picture too.
Yeah. The dumb part is their real names are right there.
Mm.
Mrs. Hipshot. I could steal Mrs. Hipshot. Jesse would know. Jesse's seen this without clothes on.
I haven't seen your dick or balls. I don't know.
Hipshot.
Gotta see the rest.
Yeah, everyone's.
No one has
good-looking dicks and balls. No one has good-looking dicks and balls.
But some have worse looking than others. You can be terrifying.
Nah, mine aren't gross, but I wouldn't call them attractive
you are
to look
Greek.
at.
They could be unbelievably hairy. Do you have a unibrow down there?
No, but I trim it all anyway.
I apologise to Mrs. Hipshot for this very...
Do you have a Gucci brow where it just goes straight from the tip all the way to the butthole? Next question.
Probably. Hey, John, Jesse, and Nikki Poo. My husband, Mr. Hipshot, is out of town for the week, and if he's out of town, then even more reason for me to move in. And I've got a question for you. If you had all the time in the world and no money troubles, what game, series, or genre would you like to get into but you never have? I don't know. I feel like everything I care about, I'm into.
Yeah, it would probably be something like I'd do more VR, but because I have no money troubles, I'd have one of those omnidirectional movement treadmills, so I could be VR, and play around with something like that, maybe. But that's about all I can think of.
Dog's hungry. I'll be right back.
Maybe I'd get back into sport games. Like, I used to be into sport games. Like, I used to buy FIFA religiously. I even used to buy the odd NBA game here and there. And Sega Rally, like rally game. Like, I used to be really into my sports games and not as much anymore. So if money's not an issue and I can just buy the yearly FIFA again and not give a shit, maybe. But that's probably it. Like, JRPGs, I've given them more than enough opportunity to hook me, and they don't.
Yeah, same for like grindy, do this same thing over and over type games.
Yeah,
like
RTSs, I keep trying with Halo Wars. Nah,
maybe I'd like especially if I could take my crew with me and we could actually invest in getting really good again, Sea of Thieves. But it's kind of I play what I want to play.
Okay.
Yeah, I know from how little you review. I got him. Just kidding.
Okay. Not Tiffany. Hey, look at that. Another one.
This is Debbie Gibson.
Executive, and it's even an executive producer, not Tiffany. This is my first time submitting a question, as my husband, not Jack, is out of town for the week. Hey,
where are the husbands going?
It's another wife I get to steal.
You're all going to Tokyo Game Show.
Not Tiffany needs to DM me her address while not Jack's away.
Ooh, you know what? That's a really good.
Not Jack.
Real quick, Buzz Swan says the Halo Fireteam Raven arcade cabinet. That is something I would love to finally get to.
Play. It's really good fun.
It'd be so much.
Haven't you played it?
No, I haven't gone to it like adult arcade. Yeah, I wanted
it's good.
to.
It's actually quite good.
I wish, you know what? I wish they would port that to VR. Put it on the Quest. God damn it.
Yeah. Put it on Xbox.
Good shout.
And release a gun peripheral.
Doesn't really work anymore if you're not a CRT.
You can do it with What do you mean? I've got Time Crisis 3 on PS3. What do you mean? It works just fine.
Next question.
Work is good.
With Sarah Bond alluding to Xbox hardware teasers around the holiday, what do you think Xbox's hardware strategy for next gen will look like? If the timing is different than the PS6, does that cause issues for developers?
No.
Shouldn't.
No, like that's the point. Like we were discussing this last week. The fact that consoles are effectively PC parts and it's optimized. If they start approaching console development like mobile phones, and they can just every couple of years here's the next one, and they release the operating system and let OEMs just be like, hey, we're gonna make a $1,200 Xbox because we can. And it's gonna have all these specs. All the developers are doing are treating it like a PC, and they're just making a version that runs. Should be fine. Like devs will keep up. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think that should be an issue. Devs are always creating for multiple platforms all the time.
Yeah.
And you still have indie devs making Dreamcast and Game Boy games and SNES games and shit.
I don't have it down here, but as long as being Steam Deck verified means so much, it doesn't fucking matter. Like they'll be fine. They are already pushing way lower than Series S. They're going to be pushing that with Switch 2. Switch 2 will be the lowest common denominator for consoles, and it's going to be weaker than a Series S, a Series X, a Series S Portable, a Series XXX, like a Series Double.
As long as
can't be double S.
As long as the Switch 2 can do Fortnite and Rocket League at 1080-60, I'm set.
If it can, it really sucks.
99 Rukin. Hey, hope you're having a great day. My question is, what game do you want made, by who, and what engine? Then who would you like to discuss it with in a podcast? For me, it would be Kojima making an Xbox crossover game with Treyarch making the multiplayer using Forza Tech. And who I would like to see it discuss it is Nick, Alex, Colin, and Jeffy. Oh, wow. That's an eclectic mix.
That is the thing I would watch the least ever out of anything in human history.
Why? I'm on there.
Exactly, and then the other three. Well, now that we
What do you
can't
mean?
hear
I'll watch
John,
your fucking
I'm just
streams.
gonna...
I should be the reason you watch.
I would be morbidly curious and give it at least a few minutes, and then want to just jab my ears with an ice pick.
Nah.
God, that is a complicated question that I can't immediately answer.
So who would you want to be made by who and what engine, and would you like to discuss in the podcast? Just trying to think.
Mike Gamble, who liked my Dragon Age preview tweet. Mine, not XboxEra's, oddly enough. The one John wrote for XboxEra did terribly. Nobody liked it or retweeted it. But the one I wrote, over 200 likes and tons of retweets. Man.
Okay.
Go me.
You're welcome.
Mike Gamble of Mass Effect fame making a Halo RPG. And then I discuss it with John, myself, not Nick, and like a few big Halo creators that aren't just absolute fucking shitheads. Do they exist?
Yeah, I think there's a
Cool.
few out there.
You'll know them.
I'm
Nick.
There's actually a chance I'm getting the game I want. Kojima's doing a stealth action game for PlayStation. That might be the game I want.
But if it's with PlayStation, how much is it going to be about stealth action versus cutscenes?
I know.
That's
Versus
my word.
cutscenes. That's my concern.
I actually kind of like the gameplay of Death Stranding. It's not bad. But
Metal Gear Solid 4 was fantastic.
Mhm.
It was just all movies and Blu-ray loading screen. That's what that whole game was.
Blu-ray
But the game
really sucked.
great.
That's what killed me. Blu-ray was terrible, and HD DVD was pretty good, but Blu-ray won because of underhanded bullshit, and Blu-ray sucked. And I think it's time we all admit Blu-ray was slow, sloppy dog shit. Fuck.
But it had
Blu-ray.
more storage. It had more storage, though.
Terrible.
Gives a shit.
Terrible experience to use a Blu-ray.
HD DVD should have won, man.
It was good. It was good.
HD DVD should have won.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would like... I'm kind of hoping that even Splinter Cell Remake is that game I want. Or maybe like a stealth ninja game. I know we're getting Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I mean a hardcore stealth, like Mark of the Ninja style
Like you
stealth.
fuck someone with your sword.
Like full 3D, and you really need to be cognizant of fucking light and shadows and like what the original Splinter Cell promised, but wasn't technically sort of capable yet. It had the shadow meter, but we're at a stage now, surely, where technologically we can actually have shadows mean something. Shadows and light mean something in a video
You might
game.
have liked that Ereban Shadow Legacy game. It is more stylized, so it's not going for the full realism, but it was a fun stealth game. It never ended up coming to Xbox because the studio lost their publisher and ran. I don't think it made enough on Steam. They lost their Game Pass deal, but it was still okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were with Raw Fury and then lost it all.
I'm referring more to a true, like,
Yeah.
I envision in my head that the Splinter Cell remake actually, instead of having a light meter,
You just see your foot
it's
lit up.
reals.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's actually using the light properly. And if you're in shadow, you're in shadow. The second you poke out a little bit of light, they see you. That's the sort of stealth I'd like.
That's a game where ray tracing could make a difference. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's
yes.
a game where the technology actually has a purpose beyond prettiness.
Correct.
Actual
Correct.
path tracing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
And who would I want to make it? I mean, I don't see why not Kojima. Metal Gear Solid's games were the Metal Gear Solid games were good. They were good stealth games.
Too much writing.
Take all the movie bullshit out of it, and they're good games.
Kojima on a leash. Where he has to focus on
Who would I
gameplay.
want to discuss it? Well, the people who I would want to discuss a game, any game, regardless of what that game is, the best people to listen to are the people that are passionate and or knowledgeable about that genre. That's like I love listening to smart people. I absolutely love listening to smart people talk. Like when MVG talks about the homebrew stuff and when he talks about all the retro stuff, it's the best to listen to. Even if the person's voice is monotone or even if they don't have
insulting MVG.
bells and whistles No, I'm saying just generally speaking. Like, you know how there's those shouty people on YouTube?
Like, hey, guys.
Yeah, if the person talking is extremely smart and knowledgeable on what they're talking about, I love listening to that. So if we get that stealth game, the people I want to hear talk about it on the podcast are people that either are devs on it, or that are knowledgeable on it, or people that are super passionate about stealth games. I don't know who that would be. The only person I know that adores stealth games as much as me is me.
Rand loves Splinter Cell, doesn't he? Maybe that's him. Yeah, he's a big Splinter Cell fan.
Is he? Oh, well, me and Rand could do it then. Yay!
There you go.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I got to add in real quick because I keep getting tagged because I think it is turning around now where people are like, man, these Dragon Age boobs and butts are way too small. And I agree. I think they should let you go the whole bevy. Let you make them super big, make them super small.
Let you go crazy like Capcom does.
Yeah. I bet you that's something they can fix pretty quickly before launch or a little after. So...
Does that mean the game should be shit on? Does that mean the game should be shit on relentlessly for not having it?
Well, no, it's getting shit on for
probably not
mastectomy scars stuff because that's only trans people and it's actually mostly, women who have had breast cancer. That's the that's most.
Okay. I saw mostly complaints that people
now there are
their butts and boobs bigger.
There are more legitimate complaints. They're like, let us make these things bigger. Like I want to make my body type, and my body type's got big butt and I might have small boobs, but I got a big butt. I can't make it. John, is there anything you want to do other than get to the next question because you're tired?
I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't want to say Kojima, but a good horror game director.
You never made one, really, did you?
Partner up with 343 for
PT.
You didn't make it.
For like a flood horror game.
He still made it.
He made a demo. It was overrated.
No, it was not overrated. PT was amazing.
Nope. Bored the shit out of me. Fuck it.
Nah, PT.
I'm so glad that I got to answer that question.
What? I don't know. Did you say something?
Blame Jesse. It's Jesse's fault.
We've got a super chat from Senor Bean.
Who's that?
Senor Bean. With the rumors heating up about next gen, do you think Xbox will do a Scorpio-esque tease for their new console? Scorpio generated a lot of momentum and got a lot of people blocked by Zooge on X.
Yeah, I think they absolutely will.
I hope so.
It's just timing. Like, they had so much this June. I think they probably felt they had enough. So even if they could have teased a handheld or something, they were going to wait. But maybe they give it to Geoff, as much as that will piss Nick off, and I understand why. It's 100 million people watching, and you can tease something. Sure, go for it.
There's no point getting Geoff to do it.
There is a point. It's 100 million people.
It's 100 million people watching Geoff go, oh, wow, look, it's a new Xbox. Who gives a shit? Why do you want 100 million people to see that?
Sometimes these things don't leak. He was more excited that it didn't leak than by what he actually had. He was like, hey, look, it didn't leak. And he's like, okay, there it was. All right, next thing.
He didn't even get the PS5 Pro reveal, and he did so much marketing.
Well, he only put out like 20 tweets. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's all. And then he justified its price using inflation incorrectly.
Yeah.
That was kind of gross.
Just ignore the cost of living and just go direct inflation.
I mean, I said the same thing about, them doing with the whole and what?
Oh yeah, it's gone.
You know what?
The stream's gone.
I need to change wires up a bit. I pulled this cable and it pulled my Ethernet cable out. Be right back.
Wait, we're back. Oh no, we're gone. We're gone. Oh my god. But the thing is that the stream is back. We're there.
Are we?
Yeah, we're there. We're there. I'm watching it. I'm watching
But I think somehow...
Oh, yeah. We're still live.
Yeah, we are. We're back.
Yeah,
we never actually disconnected.
No, we didn't, but it's not running great at the moment. I do think it's more on Spectrum side of stuff. Again.
Oh.
But yeah, when I pulled my cable and it hit the Ethernet cable and it jiggled. Because they're right next to each other.
But yes, I thought could they do a tease? But I don't think it's not the holiday for the Galaxy 2 terabyte Xbox Series X, and B, that isn't fucking exciting. Yeah, so.
But to Microsoft, it might be exciting.
No, come on, she knows what she's saying.
Why is this running? No, it keeps dropping frames. Hold on.
It does. I'm watching it and it's definitely stuttering.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm gonna stop because I'm only pushing about half of my upload, and it's still doing that. We're back. Hello.
Awesome.
Are we back?
It takes 20 seconds. We're back though.
Okay. I don't know, man. I don't think it's back.
It is.
Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Okay. Next question?
Yeah.
Okay. 99 Rukin has another one. I'm sorry, but I got to ask a second question that needs to be discussed. It's about Pocket Pair patent, not copyright lawsuit with Nintendo. This is bigger than everyone thinks. This could hurt the gaming landscape if Nintendo wins. Thoughts? Well, we kind of discussed this.
And yes, it's gross. I don't know how much it would hurt the gaming landscape, but it's not great.
It would hurt it, but like Nintendo's already been doing this stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it would continue to hurt
a lot of
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's This was definitely Nintendo being spiteful. They saw someone come along with what looked like a Pokemon clone. It was wildly successful, looked higher quality than any of Nintendo's efforts, and they got salty about it. Let's be real. Because Nintendo, because they're not directly involved with Pokemon, this is the thing. Nintendo doesn't give a fuck because they're not directly involved. It's Game Freak doing it. And as someone who beat Shield, Shield is the only Pokemon game I've ever completed, believe it or not. Those games aren't very high quality. They don't have Nintendo's quality bar to them because they're not made by, partially because they're not made by Nintendo. A lot of stuff's not made by Nintendo. But for whatever reason, Nintendo doesn't seem to... I don't know what it is. It's like Game Freak sort of has more free reign than other developers who partner with Nintendo.
It is the biggest moneymaker in gaming. So I think just by the sheer power of how much money they make nonstop, that's why they have more say. More freedom.
Because I look at Metroid Dread, and if you didn't know already, you wouldn't have known that was made by like a little indie Spanish studio. Because it has that quality bar to it. Same with Smash Brothers, is not made by Nintendo. But it's got that quality bar to it. Where Pokemon doesn't seem to come up to that bar. Like, it's just... They're genuinely not very good quality games. Those Pokemon games. They're just genuinely not very good. So I can only assume that it was Nintendo getting very, very salty about this indie dev coming out and making a higher quality looking Pokemon style game. That's my assumption. And fuck Nintendo for what they're doing. Okay, next question. Morticia. Hey.
Calm down.
Hi, Morticia. My boyfriend Mort is like out of town this week. So I thought I'd pop in and ask you handsome lads, hi Nick, a question. I hope that's okay. You can ask a question anytime, Morticia. I've got so many houses to pop by this week. I've got so many houses to pop by and so many partners to
Elon.
Book. Who is your favorite? See, when all these partners are away, Nick will play. Who is your favorite female lead or supporting character in a video game? And why? Hugs and kisses, Morticia. Who's your favorite female lead or supporting character in a video game? I don't know. Lara Croft?
Yeah, let's just pick an easy answer.
I barely remember any characters from video games.
Cat Diaz. Cat Diaz. There you go. I win the internet today.
Lara Croft for me. I love those Tomb Raider games. So much, those remake Tomb Raider games from 2013 on. Jesse, you're muted.
Oh, I turned into you.
To be.
Yeah, I was coughing a bunch, so I stopped. Yeah, I don't know.
Again, I'm saying Lara Croft because I adored 2013.
I'm surprised you wouldn't say Samus, but she's really not much of a character.
No, she barely talks, except in Other M, where she's like, the baby.
We don't talk about Other M.
Old game. Other M's are not bad game, man. I don't mind the game. It's just those cutscenes and the baby.
It was one of the worst reviewed ones for them. Not bad, was, but just lower.
Yeah.
The baby. You know who I really liked? I've only seen a little bit of her, but the smaller person in Expedition 33, in the stuff I saw in the preview, she was really cool. She's I have no idea. I'd really have to think about it. A lot of these questions are good, and then we come off bad because we just don't have a question right off the cuff.
An answer.
Mm-hmm. My wife. How about that? I'll put her in a video game. Love you, honey. She's not here.
I did do that in Sunset Overdrive. I made my character look like my wife. And I put her in just a bikini and a bikini top and bottom. And I said, look, it's you. I'm playing as you, semi-naked. Look.
I might have done that. Amanda's got a badonkadonk, and I definitely made her in Sunset Overdrive, and I chose a character with a badonkadonk, and she was like, yep, that's me.
I did the same thing. I said, look, it's you. See?
You know what? I do like Shadowheart quite a bit in what I've seen of Baldur's Gate 3. We'll just go with that. Make the internet happy.
Okay.
John's about to pass out. Come on, next question.
You can do it, bro.
Omen. Flight Simulator looks pretty cool. And now they're even adding the ability to walk around. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
The fuck?
Sorry. You know what it is? It's because Mort and Didact's icons at quick glance, their avatars look really similar, so I thought I'd already read that question. Didact. Brew 3. Hello, Reclaimers. First question here, since my husband, Didact, you left your main name.
You don't know what BRHU stands for.
First question here, since my husband, Didact, is off work this week. Off world this week. Mm-hmm. So I'm building what's being stored in the Ark in case the Halos are fired. And was wondering if you guys could recommend me some video games to preserve there to be found in the future. Suggestions? Thank you, Librarian.
What would you put on
so
an
many
Ark?
houses to visit.
Yeah. When you look at what the Librarian looks like in Halo 4, you're not going to want to go there. Weird turtle lady. I guess, you break it down by genre. What's like the biggest things you throw in? What's the best Mario? What's the best friggin' sports game ball thing? What's
Mark
the
of the Ninja.
Fighter? Ninja Gaiden Black.
Mark of the Ninja.
Oh, you just go right to ninjas.
I don't know, because Mark of the Ninja is such an incredible game, and we were talking about stealth games before, so it made me think of Mark of the Ninja, which is arguably, as of this moment, the greatest stealth game ever made.
I guess if you're making like,
oh my god,
if it's a friggin' Promethean library, you can have every fucking game ever made easily. They could store it all.
Yep.
But if you're going like top 20, then you really need to break it down. Why does he have my icon when he says need to be?
I don't know why your icon is there.
You know what? He probably hasn't set one, so it just takes my icon. Because look, if I turn my microphone off to go take a shit like he's doing, that's my fucking icon, John. You freak.
Super Mario Odyssey.
It would be the biggest fight of all time on what gets to go out on the Carl Sagan Golden Record. Like, what is going to the friggin' cosmos. It'd be a big fight.
Put the Oris in there. Put Ori in there. Put Astro in there.
Yeah, like, what's the restriction? How many can you get? How many games total is it going to be? By the way, these are...
we want games.
These are 8%.
The games that
hit me pretty good.
The games that deserve to be in there are games that are fun to play. So none of Sony's fucking third-person shit
mix.
Goes in there.
You have these are just amazing gameplay. These are what pushes the medium forward, like a Hellblade 2, The Last of Us. Wow, look, it's a big old movie. You need some of that so people can appreciate all the gameplay ones more. You need the mix. No. You can't all be gameplay.
Don't show the people of the future that we just played.
The Zorg Babians are going to want to have sometimes watch some friggin' movie games. Like, they're going to be into that shit. And it can't just all be what Nick wants. You need the wide variety genre shit. Next question.
Omen. Flight Simulator looks pretty cool. And now they're even adding the ability to walk around. Given the technology, do you think Flight Sim might have a future with adding combat or maybe even driving?
That's what Nick
I already said that. That's what I said.
It's games with question.
Sorry?
Did you read the question beforehand and it subconsciously planted the seed in your brain?
No. Ooh. This question was added like fairly late yesterday. I was out last night.
You did close the thread though. You would have been able to see everything.
Yeah, I went in and quickly closed the thread on my way home at like 10 o'clock at night.
After reading every question.
I read every question.
But yeah, that would be cool.
You see what's happening here. Patrons, yet again, he's profiting off of you.
No.
I'm curious. With none of us
what
having...
I was going to say was, great minds think alike. See? Cats. Omen and I, great minds. It'd be cool.
It would be very cool. I am curious if that would then make the footprint of the game bigger, because that couldn't be something you just stream in as easily. But yeah, I would be. That would be a neat
such
thing.
a fun thing to do, though.
Or with how fast things can load, what if it is you go to this place and it loads up another game? Like, I have gone to this place and it loads it up, or I can just load it up if I want, but it is this thing in the world I can go to and activate in Flight Sim. Then it opens up this racing game or type of thing, and it's using that tech, and it all works.
But technologically, it would be quite a feat where it's just seamless. So you're in your plane, you land in the Northern Territory at the desert in Australia, all of a sudden there's just this car waiting there for you, and you jump in this car and drive along a little bit, and all of a sudden you see like a Forza Horizon style festival just in the distance, and you drive there, and all of a sudden, bang, here's this track, let's race.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
That'd be fucking cool as fuck.
I wasn't laughing at you.
Technologically, no, I know. If
there's an icon error thread that is Microsoft is afraid of Concord. That's the thread.
Yes, I know. That's old.
Yeah.
It's been there
and
for a while.
people going back and catching up to them. It's like, I forgot about that. I completely forgot.
Yeah, I know. I saw that thread. They were saying
it's
because they're releasing an Overwatch 2 character the same day, which means they're scared of Concord. They're fucking morons there.
But yeah, no, that would be a very cool idea. I think it would be hard to implement, especially if it wasn't like part of the start of doing it. But they've got the tech, and there's going to be like a Flight Sim 2030 or something, and yeah, that would be cool. Next question.
If they could pull that off, it would be unbelievable. I'd even consider playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh.
Sorry, hold on. It hasn't come through yet, but I now need to open up our Extra Life page because we have passed $200. How did we do that? My goodness, we got... Where is it even freaking listed on here? The fuck? We're at $300.
What? Nice.
$125 from Craig L. You maniac. I won't say the whole name in case you don't want it out there. It's going to pop up on here. I can't stop it.
Wow.
So Craig Lazowski, it's going to pop up on here in a little bit. We are now over 300. We've hit most of my giveaway goals. I'm going to have to start asking for more games from PR companies and figuring that out, hoping Nick doesn't steal them. Yeah, we're over 300. I guess I'm getting another shirt. I've already got 3 of these. Woo! Because I spent $20 to be the Plus member.
Oh, wait, you guys are doing extra.
Nice, dude.
Craig L., thank you so much.
Tell your wife to be quiet.
That is my child, who I'm going to show the face of.
Right was it?
Yeah. Nick just told you to shut up, Cade.
Wow.
I know. My God.
Slap her around a bit.
But yeah, so thank you very much.
Women of XboxEra Patreon community, this is how he treats you.
All right. His camera's off. He's not back on. He's gone for the rest of the show after that one. But yeah, no.
Honestly.
Only 3 donations, averaging $100 a piece is freaking crazy. I have to count up real quick. That is like 8 giveaways already that are going to happen. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Love you all. Next question.
Hugh. Hey, guys. My husband, Hugh, is in the underworld this week. Don't do this joke about your wife when you're going to keep your name there. However,
She's
he
using
wanted
her
me to
husband's
say
account. Don't yell at these women, Nick. Jesus Christ.
we finally got around to trying Tim Tams, and we agree they are awesome.
Did you see there was
the original.
Someone brought a ton of them to TwitchCon in San Diego, and it was like, these are all so good because they are. They're amazing.
Tim Tams are incredible. Now the biscuit discussion is handled. What are your guys' favorite ice creams? Ooh, and the one I was going to say, he actually mentions. I think a Mr. Whippy, Flake 99, has to be top of the board, right? I also highly rate the Wall's Feast, or a Strawberry Cornetto. Oh, wait, is it called Walls in the UK as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I thought that was a Doha thing. Because the brand Walls in Australia, it's called Streets. We call it Streets. Same logo and everything, but in Australia it's called Streets. So we have it on the ground and you have it on your wall. Walls.
Tim Walls.
The Walls Feast or a Strawberry Cornetto. Nick, I heard Aussies like munching down on something called the Golden Gay Time. Is this correct? Or is someone taking the literal piss? No. Golden Gay Time is a real ice cream and it's fucking amazing. I was going to say it might be my favorite ice cream. The Golden Gay Time, yes, the name is a little bit controversial, but it was named at a time when gay meant happy. which it still technically means. It's just been taken over somewhat. But it's called the Golden Gaytime. I believe there was a movement to try and rename it, and I think they resisted, which is good.
Yeah.
Stick to the name. It's
the
not an
word
offensive
literally
name.
means happy.
Happy. It means happy. Game means happy.
Chalk fever. Once you got chalk, you love eating ice cream.
Yes. And now Golden Gaytime's had a bit of a resurgence in Australia, and there's all these different flavored versions of the Gaytime. And they even went so far as to create Golden Gaytime flavored popcorn down here. And that tastes fucking unbelievable as well. But yes, if you can find a way, I recommended Tim Tams to everyone, and they all love Tim Tams. If you guys can find a way to have a Golden Gaytime, please do so, because it is an incredible ice cream. Unbelievable ice cream.
They look good.
I also like, they're so nice. I also like Connoisseur. Do you guys have Connoisseur?
I've not heard of that, no. I'm always a Ben & Jerry's guy. They have just a ton of flavors, like Cherry Garcia.
We have
for
that
me.
here.
Yeah.
We have that here.
I just love a Cherry Garcia.
If it's a handheld ice cream, I'm very partial to a Maxibon, but they're rare to get hold of now.
You haven't had a Monaco bar?
Yeah, I've had one of those as well.
And you don't like the Monaco bar better than a Maxibon?
I can't remember. I think they're rare to find over here. But our ice cream van
Monaco
had them
bar.
for a while. And strawberry cheesecake Haagen-Dazs is my all-time favorite.
So Connoisseur is Australian only, so unfortunately you all miss out. If I had known, I couldn't have brought it to England because it would have melted.
Speaking of people who have been in chat, there are Magnum ice cream and Magnum bars, and those are pretty damn good.
Yeah, Magnums.
Yes, Magnums are nice. Connoisseur is like a competitor here to Magnum. And Connoisseur is extremely upmarket / high-end.
I've never seen it. Hey!
Make beautiful ice creams. So if you two come down, I will treat you to all this stuff.
How expensive would that be? I'd love to. I would love to visit the globe and go to places where, it's not super dangerous, but... Man,
what I will do is...
That would cost more than all of us going to Gamescom. That would be a lot.
Now, what I'm going to do is...
hit the last 3 questions real quick.
Wait.
Okay. I just feel bad.
He wants to show more pictures. It's all right.
He can't show anything.
Nick doesn't mind getting up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday.
Can I share my screen?
No.
Can I share my screen?
No, just
you're going to literally share a picture of an ice cream for me to go,
You
cool.
can send me a link and I can show it.
Yes, because it's nice. Look at it. Hold on.
It's just an ice cream on a stick.
So what? I
refuse to show it. Just kidding. Here we go. Yeah, that looks a lot like a Magnum. It's even a similar box.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yes.
$10.50.
I assume that's for the box.
Yeah, that's a lot though.
Yeah, for a six pack. Connoisseurs are, oh my god, they're so nice, and they do some incredible flavors too.
John, it's an ice cream bar. You're gonna be shocked when you see this. Oh, it's already there.
So hyped.
Yep.
All right, next question.
You should be. Connoisseurs are extremely nice. Come on, sure. I know you don't like my game recommendations, but surely I've justified my food recommendations.
I mean, saying Tim Tams are good is like the most basic bitch Australian thing. Everyone.
It's not just Tim Tams, Control, and all the other.
You got one thing right.
You know, I know my food.
You know what I
and
want?
Coffee. Come on.
I want that apples. I want that strudel again from Germany.
Oh my god, that fucking strudel!
I think about it all the time. It was the best custard I've ever had. Next question.
Big hugs, Cheeky, Hugh's wife. Man, I've got so many houses to travel to. Boy, I even saw in the chat, Mr. Hipshot, saying, where is it? I saw it in here. And yet my wife is still into Nick. See what I mean?
Who can blame her?
That's what
Mrs.
the ladies
Collingwood.
are here for. Mrs. Collingwood. Oh, she's the one I'm really into.
You can actually you're somewhere near her.
That's the main reason I married my wife, because she barracks for Collingwood. I wouldn't have married her otherwise.
That is a horrible reason to marry someone.
I couldn't marry a woman who does not support Collingwood. It would not work. We would end in divorce. That's how into my footy I am. Happy autumn weekend. I'm afraid my lesser half is in jail at the moment. Yep, that adds up for a Collingwood supporter.
Oh, no.
Collingwood supporters have you.
Foreign Australian.
Collingwood supporters have a reputation for being like toothless bums that are like criminals and stuff, so it lines up. I'm afraid my lesser half is in jail at the moment, but with good behaviour, he may be out by the afternoon. With the release of the Space Marine Xbox Series X, it got good old Collingwood
really cool.
thinking. If you were asked to design a special Series X console, what would your subject be? Mrs. Collingwood. Mate, I'm in there. Collingwood supporter. Ooh, boy. That's the last question.
You weren't
too.
supposed to get creepier with this stuff, Nick.
Yeah.
It's people trying to
It's
make
just
fun of
supposed
you
to
being creepy.
dissuade you from being creepy. It's not worked. It's backfired tremendously. If you want, there's a epic treasures in the chat. Do you want to get all kind of frightening and a bit weird now?
She's not a patron.
Oh, okay. It's only it's only female patrons that you get.
Patreon exclusive.
Okay.
It's Patreon exclusive flirting.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, that will bump.
What if it
our
was a
numbers
grand
up.
benefactor woman? Oh my god, they would have to run.
If you're a patron, then I will try and steal your wife. But if you're not a patron, then it doesn't matter. Okay. A limited edition Series X. I don't know. The Halo one's pretty good. I've got the Halo one.
Have you seen the Warhammer one? They only made a couple. Looks amazing. I showed it on stream a few weeks ago. The PlayStation 5 was like the doors, but then the Series X was actually the doors because it's easier to do. They made like two and they gave them away. Look really cool. Really? Yeah, it comes down to what would look good on a monolith. Like what you have such an easy canvas with a Series X, you just need to keep the top open.
Holy crap.
Yeah, no,
is that it?
Yeah, they made a couple. They look amazing. I'll put them on stream.
It looks like a big door and it's got the stand thing at the bottom. Jesus. That's full on. Jesus Christ.
When do you become Mr. Slave? A terrible name, by the way.
I always have you not noticed that I always say that? I always go, Jesus Christ. I like minimal. So I'd be picking something fairly minimal. I'm trying to think of what, though.
Like you've had a Lord of the Rings
Iron
one,
Man.
it became Sauron's Tower. That could be cool. Because there's something that's already like a parapet, like a monolith like the Xbox is.
What about an Iron Man Series X, where it's like, you know, the half gold, half red, and then there's a glowing heart thing in the middle. So instead of the Xbox button, that button is replaced by his heart. The stupid, what's it called?
Arc reactor.
I can't remember what it's called. The arc reactor, but that's the Xbox button, and it glows and everything. Oh, fuck, that would be an amazing
That
Series
Space
X.
Marine 2 one is perfect. I can't think of anything better. It's so good. It's just one of their giant-ass doors with tons of shit all around it, but you still have all your vent, which is the important thing, because a lot of people completely block the vents, and then you're just kind of screwed.
I think a mirrored chrome, completely chrome mirror, just to be as awful looking as possible with a load of RGB lights on it. That'd be perfect. Like, so as the fan's spinning out the top, it's spinning out that rainbow and it kind of shoots out like laser beams constantly in your whole room.
For what game?
Perfect. Just
Tiny
I don't know.
Tina's Butt Stallion edition. Jesus.
Chrome.
Something like if you made like a spotlight and it had like little lights shooting off of the top and it's moving like the spotlights on like Man Chinese Theater or something for a God, I don't know. I can't think of anything better than that. I would murder Nick in his sleep to get this Space Marine 2 one. It looks so cool. I just garrote him in front of his children, just as they're begging, please stop, just making it tighter and tighter and staring at them. I would do that for this one. It looks that good.
No, I want the Iron Man
Also,
one.
this story went up on September 11th, and then that made me think of something I'm not going to repeat.
I'm trying to think of another one. I don't know. I like plain stuff. So the more minimalistic
Don't talk about
it
planes.
is, the better. Be better. Tron. Yeah, Tron like lawns. A Tron one, not lines. A Tron one would be nice. That would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I've never seen this one before. This looks good.
one that's shaped like a bed, and you can just get on top of it and have a little sleep.
Oh yeah,
Be nice.
well that was the last question.
Oh, well,
Yep.
that's lucky.
So we're all done. How good's that? This all the questions from these patrons partners is inspiring me to start my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I reckon
Get on
that
that,
tier
mate.
would be. I reckon that tier would be quite successful if I
We
did
could
an
create a
OnlyFans tier.
Nick's OnlyFans tier. Yeah, maybe that's what we need to do.
I reckon it'd be quite popular. I reckon even Jesse would join that one.
You just want to understand what he's missing out on.
Yeah,
What
because
didn't
he
he get to
remembers.
see?
He has the vivid memories of seeing me topless in Germany. He's like, man, I need that reminder. He's muted. He's muted.
Oh, no. Jesus Christ! My wife got a lot of food. If it's a, I was talking to her. If it's a Patreon tier, I can just see all of it anyways, idiot.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you wouldn't appreciate what you see.
Oh,
and
sure.
want
I mean,
to
I'm not
give
saying
money.
there wouldn't be a little bit of that, but I mean, I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. He's like, man, I only got to see Nick topless once. I need to see more of
I
that.
need some more pre-drag. What? Super chat from Grandest
Torn
Benefactor.
Raptor. Yeah, Torn Raptor. Sleep well, sick.
I will. And on that note, it's the end of the show. Many thanks, everybody,
Yeah.
for coming to hang out. And yes, happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday, Torn Raptor. I think you're still not quite as old as me, though. I think, if memory
he's not.
serves.
He's
Handsome
not.
man.
2 years younger. But we'll be back. As always, keep an eye on XboxEra.com. There is a ton of content as per usual coming again
There
this
is.
week.
And there may be more exclusive risque content coming now.
Yeah. As soon as
Hey?
we get that Nick OnlyFans tier set up, that everyone's
Oh
definitely
boy,
gonna enjoy.
I'll take all the photos fresh after the gym session. Get that pump going, mate.
What, the penis pump, just so you can take the photos without that.
Yeah, the penis pump.
I'd probably need it.
I'd probably need it too.
But we'll be back on Tuesday for headlines as per usual. And yeah, thank you guys as always for making all of this fun and possible. I'm off to get a really good night's sleep, hopefully.
Your kids,
No
so your kids are not around. Okay, cool. That's why I
They
figured you
are
were okay.
not around tomorrow.
Next
I
weekend,
am
you're
laying
fucked.
in. Yeah, next weekend. Next weekend is.
Oh wait, his kids aren't around, so then what's
Yeah,
the
that's
big
why
deal?
he hasn't
can
been
sleep in
complaining.
tomorrow.
We've had a long show,
Mate,
Nick.
it's
It's been
killing
3.5
me.
hours.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just it kills like
That's
doing
short
this.
for us.
Yeah,
Average.
Thank God.
Much like Nick
short.
on OnlyFans. Coming soon. Ciao for now.
Yeah,
See you next week.
coming soon. Ciao for now.
Bye.
John's got a project locked in his mind. Whispers in dark, oh, what will we find? Colors and sounds that twist and unwind. Lost in his secrets that he's left behind. Hidden schematics dance in his eyes. Mystery project under starry skies. Electric dreams in a digital maze. John's crafting wonders in a purple haze. Oh, John, oh, tell us your tale. What's behind the curtain, behind the veil? Secrets and shadows that nobody knows. Where does your mind wander? Where does it go?